Should be good. What it do, baby?
What's going on?
Yo, G baby up here. Been a minute since we had a G baby Player's Choice experience. I know you've been popping in on Gridiron.
Gridiron, yeah. Yeah, it's been a minute. You know, it's ready to. I don't want to push too many agendas, but I've heard some nasty stuff. So
you've heard some nasty stuff. You need to dust off the rust though for your NBA debating. Like, how are we feeling here? You feeling?
I think I feel it. I think I'm feeling pretty good. I don't think I'm lacking in anything. But it has been a couple games. But there are stuff that I said would happen in the offseason that's coming to fruition. So
I would love to hear this.
I would love to hear this too.
The Lakers are exactly what I said they would be. The Timberwolves are exactly what I said they would be. And I got a lot of heat for the Timberwolves one, especially because Cat doesn't have to worry about playing the 5. He can play the 4 now. He doesn't have to guard centers. They'll be fine. Yeah, so that's coming to fruition. So I tried to tell people last year, no one wanted to believe me. Then he folded in the playoffs and in the play-in, like I said he would. People are starting to come my way, so just letting everything play out as they should.
Poor Wolves. I know everybody in Minnesota was just ecstatic. They were just running and jumping around.
Ecstatic that they got Rudy Gobert. I don't know that anyone was running around skipping through the woods when they signed Rudy Gobert.
You had people calling them like, they're about to be a top 5 team. They were comparing them to AD and DeMarcus Cousins when they linked up. That's the type of comparisons I heard with this team.
The difference between AD and DeMarcus was they had Reggie and Drew Holiday.
They could also extend the floor. Rudy Gobert has to be touching the rim. He has to be within arm's length of the rim. That's his offensive ability.
Like I said last show, I'm still I got high hopes for the Timberwolves, honestly.
Okay, what does high hopes mean? Let's dive into this then. What is high hopes?
I don't want to say a ceiling. I don't really want to say a floor. I just think that they're better than their record shows right now. Once again, like me and Dub are going kind of back and forth. I was trying to explain to him that, it takes time to really revamp your whole style of play, especially on the defensive end. And I mean, Cat is soft. He's been soft since he got to the NBA. And so it's just like, it's got to work around things. But I think it'll mesh a little better than it has meshed so far, honestly. I don't think they're gonna. At first, I was like, I was saying crazy stuff. Like I thought they were gonna trade D'Lo for Kyrie. So when I thought they were gonna do that, I was like, if they do that, this team could win the championship.
Chat already wants to hear. Chat already wants to hear.
Big ox shit.
Yeah, we're definitely about to talk about it.
Hey, I'm trying to remain humble, y'all. Let's just stay humble.
But see, JD, that's what I was saying more so about like fans. Like when you're a fan, it's hard to remain humble. It's easy, in the words of Chill, it's easy to get sucked into something. So like when they picked up Rudy, you got to understand they just made a playoff run. Who was it that they almost beat?
The Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies.
Oh yeah, and they were.
Act like you don't remember.
I don't want to talk about it. I really don't. Remember, they were damn near supposed to beat the Grizzlies, and they kind of just folded and gave them the series. So it's like when you go forward from that, the fans are already thinking, okay, we almost made it out the first round. We were this close. Now we just got one of the best centers in the league, one of the best defensive centers, one of the best rebounders. He's gonna come. He's gonna toughen up Cat. Everybody else is gonna get better. And then you do that, and all of a sudden, womp, womp, womp. But at the same time, there's still a lot of fans that are like, they think that they can put it back together. Can
Jay,
they?
do you see the chat? I started talking about the Kings are frauds. They're flukes. It's a fluke.
Yeah, bro. They're like the Utah Jazz. It's just like,
He making it hard for me to stay humble.
Hey, hold up. I don't know about Utah though.
Yeah, G baby.
I think Utah is really like they're not gonna win no championship. Don't get me wrong, but Lauri Markkanen and the boys, I think they gonna sustain this to at least be like. I think they might be in the play-in and make it, depending on who they face, of course. Like
who got G-Baby? Who got more action? Who got more action?
Did you hold on? Let's not skip over what he just said.
Yeah,
he has the Utah Jazz in the play-in.
Yeah, like a 7th seed, and I think they'll make it to the playoffs and be a tough out for whoever they play.
So Utah Jazz sitting at the top of the conference, you think they're going to just free fall all the way to play-in?
Well, I mean, because if you look at
there's a lot of games left.
There's not a lot of belief in the Utah Jazz.
No, but if you look at the top 8 teams, everything's separated by a game by now. I think they could be a 7 seed by like 3 games. I mean, even in the East last year, 2 and 4 were separated, where all had the same record. You know what I mean? The 6 seed, so I don't think it's gonna be that far off. I think the Jazz, they'll probably fall a little bit because it's the Jazz. Like, I'm not about to expect them to still be a top 3 team. Same thing with the Kings. I'm not gonna expect them to be a top 3 team going forward either. I think, the Nuggets, the Mavs, the Blazers, I think they're going to hit a stride. Pelicans as well. I love what I'm seeing from them. I think they're going to hit a stride and eventually take over. But I think the Utah for sure is making the playoffs, personally.
Listen.
Yeah. So who got more action, G Baby? The Kings or the Jazz?
Or the Blazers. I want to throw this little triple threat.
Who's
so like
who you think is going to
like playoff?
Oh, start bench cut?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start the Blazers because I still like Damian Lillard. That alone, I've seen him make it worse. So I'm going to start the Blazers. If I got to pick between the Jazz and the Kings, I'm probably going to bench the Jazz.
Of course.
Cut the Kings only because the Kings have had talent for like the past 3 years. And I felt like they should have, like what they're doing now, I feel like they should have been doing years ago.
We had Buddy Hill.
What you mean they had Buddy Hill? Don't do that. Don't do that with Buddy.
No, I was saying that before we traded DeMarcus for Buddy. He's sorry. He can only play one way. He doesn't have any versatility to his game. The thing is, so I'm gonna go back and speak on what Chill was talking about yesterday about the bad draft picks we've made, which obviously before we got De'Aaron, we were making stupid draft picks. We drafted Jimmer Fredette, we drafted Nick Stauskas, we drafted Ben McLemore, but Marvin Bagley, that was obviously a mistake in hindsight. We see that, but Marvin came out of Duke
at the time that was a great pick. At the time, that was a great pick.
So that didn't work out. But then we drafted Tyrese Halliburton. You see how good Tyrese Halliburton is. We flipped that into getting DeMontis. Shit, nigga. We got DeMontis. Then we bring over Malik Monk. We bring over Kevin Huerter. That changes the whole dynamic of our team. Nobody could keep up with us, especially when we have De'Aaron, Davion, and Malik on the court together. We run in circles around everybody. We're playing defense. Kevin Huerter is a big shot maker. It's no fluke about our team. We got one of the top 10 centers in the NBA. We got one of the top 5 point guards in the NBA. I mean, at this point, it's really just the fact that we're the Sacramento Kings. Nobody can accept us being good. So it's, we just got to show and tell, I'm going to stay humble though.
I mean, I think you guys are better than the Timberwolves, so by virtue, I think you'll have a chance to make the playoffs.
It's just
and my bad. We got Harrison Barnes. My bad. Harrison Barnes. He is the epitome of 3-and-D and step up when we need him. He's the MVP. I mean, not of the NBA, of course, but he's the MVP for us.
I almost forgot you guys got the Black Falcon
sitting at 11. Black Falcon, Rod.
I mean, that's his nickname. They call him the Black Falcon.
All right, since we're here on the Kings, we were going to get to it, but hey, we're already here. So I want to talk about, because they just hit their 7th win in a row, Ron. Lighten the beam. De'Aaron Fox in their last game, 32, 8, and 6, had 4 steals, dropped 5 3-pointers, and this is their longest win streak. This is only 7 wins in a row. Still impressive, but their longest win streak since 2004. Bobby, you and I were literally just talking about this 2 weeks ago. And I was like, I think this might be your best team in like recent history. And I'm pretty sure you told me it was the 2004 team that you liked better.
No, obviously I like the 2014, but I like when we had Rajon, Rudy, and DeMarcus.
That's right.
We had a real good team, but I mean, we had George Karl on the sideline. He was trying to tell Rajon what to do every step of the way. We just didn't have any chemistry on that team. But skill-wise, talent-wise, we've had some pretty good teams in the past, with Tyreek. But yeah, I mean, hey, like I said, I'm gonna stay humble. We're gonna keep getting written off until we prove something. We honestly don't deserve any love until we make something happen.
Facts. And I would apologize for shitting on the Kings, but again, it's still early season. Like, I'm not apologizing until I see what happens at the end of the year.
And don't forget, we got robbed those 2 games too. So
What 2 games?
Against Golden State and that first Miami game in Miami when Tyler Herro took 5 steps and then shot the 3 at the buzzer. That was a heartbreaker. And then Klay Thompson tried to kill Kevin Huerter on that 3-pointer.
That was crazy.
And all the refs closed their eyes and looked the other way.
Yeah, that was insane.
I mean, they beat quality teams on this 7-game run streak. Don't get me wrong, they have a win against
not according to Ace 30. Ace 30 believes that our wins are not quality. We beat Memphis. We beat Golden State.
The Warriors.
We beat Miami.
Depending on how y'all feel about the Nets. Some people think they're quality. Some people don't. But you have a blowout win against.
We beat the hell out the Nets. We just beat the Grizzlies again. We beat the Grizzlies last night. We beat the Cavaliers. I mean, who else? Okay, yeah, we picked on the Pistons. We picked on the Spurs. We beat Charlotte without De'Aaron. Whatever though, whatever. It's no big deal. They'll see.
You just said a bunch of teams that
these are a lot of high scoring games though. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's all
129. I don't know. These are a lot of high scoring games, but I mean they're still wins, so it's better than what they were doing the past decade. So
we did beat a lot of losing teams that started, but I bet we beat your favorite team this year.
All right, let's get into this. Shout out to everybody tapping in live on the YouTube right now, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us every Sunday and Wednesday morning if you're on the west side, afternoon if you're on the East Coast. Shout out to our sponsor of the show, Lucra. If you guys have not downloaded the Lucra app, make sure you download that. Use code Players Choice. You get an extra $5 in your account if you use code Players Choice, bro. That we've been having a blast on this thing. Like, we've been literally talking about this nonstop for the last 3-4 days, whatever. And I want to recap some of these that we've done over the course of these last 3 days since we announced this on Sunday. They've been pretty.
Everybody's money I've taken. I know it's some of y'all out there are taking your money.
There's not the one up here that I had with. Shout out to Rose City Boy. Rose City Boy and I did Darius Garland in SGA on, was it Monday, I think? And Darius Garland had 20 of the first half, and I was like, oh, this is about to be a wash. And then SGA comes up and scores like 2 or 3 more points than him, which, I don't know. I guess seeing what's going on this year, that's expected. But
I got one like that too, JD, where I think it might have been damn near the same game, but I had somebody had 29, and then SGA came and got 30.
That was the same night.
It was SGA, but yeah. I think you had. Who did you have, JD? Because I had Donovan. I think
I had Darius Garland.
Yeah, I had Donovan. Donovan at 29.
Yeah. All right, so here's one of them. This is against Dub. So Dub is a bozo, and he wanted to do assists versus points, AD versus De'Aaron Fox for whatever reason. And then after he already accepted, he's like, no, let's do points. Still would have got wiped, so it doesn't even matter. But this one was hilarious. So you could do stuff like this on Lucra, which is pretty fire. You could do points against assists, or you could do assists against steals, or assists against rebounds, blocks, whatever. But yeah, man, this has been so much fun. We got washed on this one against T Cando 16. Big Ox shit was a little Ox B. AD 37, Sabonis 9. We took out MRZ TKO with this Devin Booker over KD. When was this? Was this last night or 2 nights ago, Ron?
This was last night.
Yeah, last night.
Fire.
Yeah, that was last night that Devin Booker outplayed Kevin Durant, and I won my bet. Match.
This is the best one. John Doe thought they were going to get up on us. Reggie Jackson, Darius Garland points.
Oh, because Paul George didn't play last night.
This one was hilarious. They thought that was just free 99, and we took that. So the link for the Lucra app, using our promo code. That is pinned in the chat. That's also in the description for everyone who's watching after the fact or listening on a podcast audio form. Make sure you tap into that, man. All right. Any agendas you guys want to push before I get into some of these recaps, these game recaps?
I got a million agendas to push.
I know you always have agendas to push.
G baby.
I mean, I kind of already alluded to it. The Lakers are who I thought they were. The Timberwolves are who I thought they were. So I'm just glad to see everything that I said is coming to fruition.
Ron,
Jokic still top 2.
Up.
Jokic still top 2.
Yuck.
Still top 2 in the NBA.
Yuckage.
Yes.
And
Top 2 what? He's the best center in the NBA.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's better
make
than
him top 2.
I know
Sure.
It's Giannis and Jokic.
No,
And then-
not even close.
And then who's? I need to just hear this top.
Jokic
5.
might not even be top
Steph,
7.
Steph, Luca.
JD,
and,
stop smoking this early.
Let me start writing
I mean,
names
low
down
key-
because you guys are tripping.
Low key after at 5, it's kind of like you can take your pick. You can take your pick whoever you want to put at 5. I'm not gonna argue
So,
it.
I mean, who would you put at 5?
Because I definitely am not putting LeBron there. I don't want to put KD there. But I don't know if I could say Embiid is better than KD, right? I don't know. It's like that 5 through 8. It's pretty much take your pick. I mean, if I had to, I'll put KD there. But like, if somebody wanted to say he wasn't, I wouldn't bat an eye.
All right, let's see. I'm starting to write some names here. I got Steph. This is all who I have over Jokic right now. I have Steph. I got Lucra. I got Giannis. I got Tatum. This year right now,
JD, come on, man.
Embiid.
JD, come on, man.
Bro, I'm telling you right. I'm talking about this season.
Oh, we're just
JD?
basing it off of these couple games. Oh yeah, it didn't. Jokic just
Oh,
missed
what
like
are we
4?
just talking about? Oh, better player. I'm talking about this season, bro. Of course,
yeah,
we
this
know
season.
who like the better overall player is over their
I mean,
career, whatever.
I mean, this season is fine, but I still would take Jokic over all of them except for like Luka and Giannis. Like I'll let it slide, but like,
Hey, can you say that AD's playing better than Jokic right now?
he's played better for like 3 games.
What you mean?
AD is chopping right
Like,
now.
don't get me wrong. I like what AD's been doing in these past
I
couple
might
games,
have
but like
Donovan Mitchell over Jokic right now.
I mean, and to say that somebody's playing better than somebody doesn't mean that you're going to take them over them. So I do get that, G baby. But at the same time, at what point do you start holding it against somebody if they're not playing up to their standards?
I mean,
we did this for AD for years, and now he's balling.
I mean, yeah, he's doing good. Like, but like early, even you could say he had to get acclimated and stuff. Because like right now, Jokic is averaging like 21, 9, and 9.
7.
So like he's not averaging the points, but that's because we're trying to get Jamal and MPJ back into the thing. And I think right now they're kind of trying to force Jamal some shots. Because like I think last night or whatever it was, he shot like 3 for 12 or whatever the case. And that's just trying to get him back in the rhythm. If Jokic really wanted to go back to being that aggressive man he was, he'd probably still be averaging just 28. You know what I mean?
Last night when y'all got waxed by the Pistons,
we lost by 2. And again,
Jamal
shot 3 for 12. I mean, it's gonna happen. You know, everybody loses to a bad team.
You're not really supposed to be losing to a K-less Pistons, but
I mean,
what do I know? I just be saying that the Nuggets are.
But like literally, they barely
losing
found
to a
out.
K-less
They
Pistons.
barely found out like an hour before the game that Jamal and Jokic were cleared from COVID. You know,
talking about last
Jokic
night?
did his thing, but yeah, last night. Like Jokic did his thing, but
So are you trying to say they weren't
you
prepared
can
to play?
definitely tell that affected him. I'm saying Jamal wasn't. I'm saying Jamal wasn't. They barely found out.
I don't like that. I don't like that from NBA players.
These are professional basketball players.
I don't like that, G baby. That's a cop
You
out.
find out wait. So you find out an hour before. Oh, you can actually play now? Like, what do you mean? Like, clearly
if
they
weren't
ready.
prepared to play.
If it was up to me, they wouldn't have played. I mean, Jokic did his thing, but if it was up to me, you find out an hour before tip off. Like you've been at home, you ain't been doing nothing, you ain't got no shots up unless you got like a home gym. You ain't got no shots up or nothing, and you expect to come into an NBA game and go crazy.
Yeah, you an NBA player. You're supposed to get up, go to the gym.
They got a chance to warm up. It's not like they miss warm-up lines or anything like that.
An hour before? So after not playing or practicing for like 4 or 5 days, you could just get up and go play a professional NBA game at your highest
That's
level.
the thing, though. That's the thing, though. We're talking about the NBA MVP twice. We're talking about another all-star and a dude who's a big-time player. These guys got access to facilities. COVID doesn't just put you on a deathbed where you can't go get up shots. They have access to gyms where they can go work out, get up shots, get workouts in. So I'm not under the belief that they haven't got up shots.
Ron,
but
did you
if that is
Jamal
the
Murray
case,
an all-star?
if he's been an all-star before, hasn't he?
No.
He hasn't?
If not, he's all-star caliber. For sure.
Yeah, all-star caliber for sure.
And so the point I'm trying to make
JD. Hell yeah.
is, bro, I haven't played basketball in 2 weeks. I can go pick up a ball and go get busy. Granted, I'm not playing against NBA competition, but I'm playing against adequate competition for me. I can go get busy.
Well, I'm just saying, look, because like Jokic did his thing.
I'm busting your ass.
I'm just saying, Jamal, you can tell.
JD, firing his ass up.
Your ass.
I'm just saying, with Jamal, you can tell.
Come over here.
That you can tell that Jamal, it affected him a little more. He shot 3 for 12. He wasn't hitting his shots like he normally do, and that we lost by what we lose by 2. Like, I'm not really losing sleep over that. It's okay. It happens.
I mean, a 2-point loss to the Pistons is like a 20-point loss to the Bucks.
Right, you know? Right. It's gross. And I thought that you guys were supposed to have a deep bench. You're losing to the Pistons?
The Pistons are hungry right now.
I don't know if
hungry for what? 12 wins?
I don't even think Bones did anything yesterday either.
At the end of the season, 12 wins.
They're hungry to have somebody in their mama.
Ron, don't start this.
They're hungry for Victor.
Don't start. He's on your mama shit all day.
But hold on,
JD, can you please read that super chat?
G baby. So where do you think you guys finished this year?
I still think we can be top 3, top 4. The Pelicans are showing me what I thought they would. It's just the Suns, I kind of thought they would take a little bit more of a hit, and they haven't. So I think we could still be a top 4 team in the West. I still think that everybody healthy, we only lose to the Warriors because I know who Steph is, and we possibly get caught by the Clippers. But I think, like, because the pick and roll just matchup wise, we're gonna struggle against the Warriors. Steph, Jordan Poole, they're gonna pick on Jokic, and we saw it last year.
Dallas,
Jamal, no MPJ. Dallas. Can, Luka's gonna be Luka.
Dinwiddie's gonna be Dinwiddie.
I'm confident we can beat the Mavs.
No,
the Mavericks.
I'm confident we can beat them.
Bro, the Denver Nuggets might be the biggest phonies actually in the Western Conference. They look, it's like glitter and glamour. It's like, oh, what we got going on over here? But they're just phonies. They're just
how is it being glitter and glamour?
Losers.
Like, we barely got our guys back.
Bunch of dorks over there or something. I don't know what's good, bro.
Yo, I just want to come out here and say I have my 3 most underrated teams in the NBA, and I've been alluding to it along this whole time throughout the summer and so far into the season. But I just want to say that the team that tops the list is none other than Luka Doncic, the Dallas Doncic's. That's why, because they're the Dallas Doncic's.
Dallas Doncic's. I'm here for it.
They're the most overrated team. People were saying.
Wait, you said overrated? Hold on, Ron. You said overrated?
Overrated.
Okay, so we're not doing this shit today. He started that soliloquy by saying my top 3 most underrated teams. Am I tripping?
I think he meant to say. He meant to say overrated.
I think he misspoke.
Because when he said underrated and then said the Mavs, I was finna say something, but I just kept it quiet, because
sorry, JD, I was just using an underrated to suck you in. Pause. Hey, now that I got your attention, the most overrated team in the NBA is the Dallas Mavericks. You guys said that they will be a top 3 seed. This, and this XYZ. They'll make a playoff run. I'm telling you, they overachieved last year. We will not, with this unit as constructed, we will not see them make another deep playoff run. If they make a Zach LaVine trade, Bradley Beal pickup, or something of that caliber, maybe.
So you don't like Christian Wood? Wood?
I like Christian Wood, but he doesn't tip the scale enough to beat those top tier teams. It's just not going to be enough. On top of that, we've seen what happens in the playoffs with Luka when he plays with co-stars. It just
Such
doesn't
a
quite
boring argument, Ron.
It's a boring argument.
I'm so bored of that argument.
I can only go based on what my two
stinks.
eyes seen. I can only go based on what my two eyes seen.
Stinks, bro.
And here's one thing I do know: Kristaps Porzingis is better than Christian Wood. I know this.
Yes,
we know. This.
Yeah, we do
And
know.
so
that, yes.
if he wasn't able to play next to Luka, and they're similar caliber players, if he wasn't able to play next to Luka, what makes you think that I think that Christian Wood can fare well next to Luka in the playoffs?
Bro, I gotta say this every episode. Nobody wants to play with Luka. I've said it every episode.
Oh my
every
God.
episode that we
Can
talk
you
about
move
the Mavs,
on to the
bro,
next
nobody
team?
wants
You
to
guys
play
are
with him.
boring me. Boring points. Like what?
I mean, they did lose to the Nuggets by 1 without Jokic or Jamal there, but you know it happens, right?
JD, the thing about facts is that they
have
don't
a
have
deep
to be exciting. They don't have to be exciting. They can be boring, and it doesn't make it not true. Nobody wants to play with Luka Doncic.
That's not true. I would love for you to show me the facts. Show me the car facts.
I can't do that. That takes time. You got to just wait for the season. Wait for the season to progress.
I mean, Luka gives
progress. You'll see.
Luka needs like a Clint Capella type in his prime. Like he reminds me so much of James Harden. So it's like when James Harden was at his best, he had another playmaker to take the load off of him when needed, or like Chris Paul could like take care of the second unit. So there was always a playmaker on the floor, and then they had a Clint Capella type, you know. And so I just feel like that's what they need. Like if they
have JaVale McGee.
What?
I do like JaVale. I do like JaVale over there. I do.
Hear me out. I think Clint Capella is better than JaVale McGee for sure. But when you talk about
JaVale maybe 7 years ago
at the rim, who you can just throw the ball up to because he's 7 feet tall, he could still go get that and finish. It's not going to be to the level of a Clint Capella, but to say that he doesn't have something like that right now,
JD,
I think he does.
JD, I know you love Luka. I know you love the Mavs. Right now is the perfect time to just put that Mavs pack that you're smoking, just take it and just throw it over your shoulder. Just get rid of it. I'm telling you right now, before you get too high on these guys, it's not going to happen.
And JD, I'm not knocking JaVale. I'm saying JaVale a couple years ago, I see that, but it's not. I don't even think that's the problem. I think we could do that, JD.
I'm opening this up right now for you, Ron.
I think they need like a what's his name, like Mike Conley. They need a point guard. They need to get Luka off the ball.
I mean, they got Campazzo.
Okay, stop.
Campazzo, all right, but still, they need somebody that can get Luka off the ball.
But this is why I was saying they need one more guy like that. Ron actually sent us a mock trade that somebody, please, is that Tatum?
I got Tatum. You got Fuka.
Okay, are we going straight across the board?
Straight across the board,
bro. Yes, that's easy.
Tatum's projected for 28 points. Luka's projected for 30. But guess what?
Who do they play?
Bro, I'll even give you points. I don't care.
But guess what? Marcus Smart gonna lock Luka up tonight.
Yeah, right.
Marcus Smart is a baby.
Marcus Smart's a baby. That's mouse in the house.
But hold on. We can get back to that bet. But I'm not done with my most overrated teams in the NBA.
Hold on, but I'm also not done about this mock trade that you sent us the other day. Of if we were to get Zach LaVine for Josh Green, Reggie Bullock, and who was the third? Dwight Powell, I think, and then like 2 picks. I'm taking that. Zach LaVine, Luka Doncic, Spencer Dinwiddie.
Why is
that trade big time?
Yeah, but like, why is Dwight Powell like JD? Maybe you could tell me why is Dwight Powell starting over Christian Wood?
I don't know what the deal is with Christian Wood. Like, I just don't have any idea what it is with Jason Kidd and if he's just needs to build more trust with them or what it is. Like, I really don't.
Because I thought they traded like what did they give up for Christian Wood? Like,
I thought JaVale McGee was starting though.
Well, I just looked at the last game against the Nuggets and it was Dwight Powell. It could be JaVale more consistently, but either way, it's not Christian Wood. So that's why I was like, maybe
Dwight Powell starting at the 5 or at the 4.
I also don't mind Christian Wood coming off.
Smith.
I don't mind Christian Wood coming off the bench though. That's the thing, and we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Is you don't need to start to make an impact, and you should have guys coming off the bench that can be a spark plug and that can run with that second unit where your production doesn't take a huge hit. So I'm really like, I would love for Christian Wood to kind of just stay with that second unit and then maybe throw him into get him not starter minutes because he could still play starter minutes, but throw him into that starting role like every once in a while and just kind of see what works, what doesn't. But that's where I'm at. Sorry, Ron. All right. I just hijacked your thing. I apologize. That was actually really rude of me.
No, well, I actually want to talk about that Zach LaVine trade. I think this actually would save the Mavs season, and it would propel them going forward into really being into the championship contender, caliber type of teams. Because it's like
Zach is not that cold.
It's not about Zach being that cold. It's about Lucra having somebody alongside him that can go for 30 on any given night. Now, this comparison, it isn't like peanut butter and jelly. It's not the perfect comparison, but this is how I could kind of see that going. Now, you have the Golden State Warriors with the point guard that can do anything. Steph Curry can shoot from anywhere on the floor, score from anywhere on the floor. Then you got a guy next to him who's just an elite sniper, Klay Thompson. Now, Zach LaVine can't shoot as good as Klay, but he can do some other things better than Klay. He can go off the dribble better than Klay. He can create his shot better than Klay. He's more athletic than Klay. So I see that being the type of dynamic where I got a guy next to me who's just a microwave, who on any given night can go for 40, can shoot from anywhere on the floor. He can take a lot of pressure off of me, scoring-wise, and if I'm having an off night, Zach LaVine can pick it up. And it's just a consistent 20 alongside when I bring my 30 with Lucra. That's how I can kind of see that going. And I just think that dynamic helps them a lot. Now, granted, Zach doesn't bring the two-way. He's not a two-way threat the way Klay is, but I just think he can bring a lot more to that Mavs team.
He is
still lanky. But Ron, the biggest question,
though.
Just
he
like
doesn't need to be the greatest defender because the Dallas Mavericks have a good defensive scheme. So you get 3 playmakers in Zach LaVine, Luka Doncic, Spencer Dinwiddie, which kind of solves that offensive issue that we were talking about. On the defensive side, I don't think that you really take that much of a hit. Now, I did say that losing Reggie Bullock and Josh Green and Dwight Powell for sort of a little bit. He's an undersized forward, but Reggie Bullock and Josh Green, you lose that kind of wing defensive presence.
But why did the Bulls do this? That's what I want to know. That's what they want to know
because
too. Like, that doesn't even make
Billy
any
Donovan
sense.
Doesn't like Zach LaVine, bro. Get him out of
there. Why'd they re-sign him?
Yeah, they could get more for Zach though. Zach's value isn't. Zach got value though. They can get something.
I mean, he does, but like,
he's been beefing with the over there. Was it? Yeah, he's been beefing over there for a minute since Thibodeau left.
I mean,
you try to send Zach to like a team like Toronto or something. Like
I don't know. I just feel like because how much is his contract? Didn't he sign like a 5-year extension or a 5-year contract for? I don't know. I just feel like this is year 1 into that signing, and like you about to trade him after year 1. Like that's
215.2 million max. Doesn't say 5-year contract. Doesn't mean he's gonna be there all 5 years.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying year 1. Like year 1, like I mean, I don't think he should have resigned with Chicago anyway if he wanted to win a chip. Like I didn't think Chicago was the place to do that. I was like, you're just gonna sign.
Bro, I don't know that he was re-signing to Chicago because he had looked at that and was like, we could win a chip. I think he saw 215 million and was like, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But like getting traded year 1, like that's.
So what? This is my question because the Mavs don't make no sense. Where else would y'all see him going?
Like getting traded?
He could go anywhere.
I mean,
that Mavs still not going to do it for Zach LaVine, though.
I think they would be pretty nice, though.
Yeah, maybe the Mavs, but what about
Miami?
The Bulls?
Who cares about the Bulls? Who cares about the Bulls? They
get
a lot.
They
get a lot. What are you talking about? 2 picks and Josh Green, Dwight Powell, and Reggie Bullock. They get a shooter. They get defense. They get a hustle player.
Shooter? Reggie Bullock,
Josh Green and Reggie Bullock. Josh Green actually has like the second highest 3-point field goal percentage in the NBA right now.
He actually.
How many has he shot though?
Only 2 attempts a game. Whatever.
That's not bad though.
Still, bro. Hey, that's
50%.
Bro, still shooting over 50. He's shooting over. He's shooting like 56%. Like,
my thing is, it's easier to shoot 50% from 3 when you only shoot 2 instead of 5. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all.
But is it easy to shoot it when you're shooting 2 every night, making at least 1 out of your 2 every night?
Okay, JD. So if you're the
I'm
GM,
good for
you're
a
the
three.
executive of the Bulls, do you make that trade? Honestly, do you make that trade for Reggie, Josh, and Dwight Powell? I like Dwight Powell a lot.
I forgot what the picks were. So I would consider it like a serious consideration for sure, depending on what those picks were, for sure.
I'm not gonna lie.
Why not consider it?
It's no way in hell I make that damn trade. But
You're the Bulls.
but the Mavs can tweak some things around, and maybe I'll take it. Maybe add in another first round pick, so 3 first round picks, and then
Wait, Ron. What I was gonna get to before Bobby brought that up was, would you take that 5-year, $215 million contract or the dinner with P Diddy?
Yeah, get that fucking dinner
with
out
bad
here.
boy. All right.
There you go. I would actually, you know what? I would think about sending Zach to like Charlotte or something, trying to get like Terry Rozier, some of those cats over there.
Ugh, yuck, Bob. What are you doing? Why would you do
I feel
that?
like if it's not Miami,
Terry's better than all 3 of them players that you're talking about from the Mavs. I would try to get Terry, Gordon Hayward
individually, sure.
I'm not mad at
Offensively.
Terry and DeMar DeRozan, because this is what you got to factor in now. If the Bulls are gonna be off the Zach train, they're gonna need somebody else to come and basically be their number 2. So it's like, who do you do that? That still got Vucevic, yeah, but who do you want to come in there and really play alongside DeMar DeRozan? I wouldn't be mad at having Terry come over there, but granted, you also got to look at the rest of the roster too. They got Ayu, they still got him at point guard, they still got Caruso, and they still got Kobe White. So it's like maybe they don't want a point guard. I think at that point they will want some more wings or another 4 or something of that nature.
PJ or something.
Does Zach LaVine have a no trade clause? Like he has to waive that in order to get traded? Because if that's the case, I think that changes everything. I feel like the only places he's going, because he ain't going to Charlotte. They 4-14.
He would never go.
And Mr. Rudy Poole been in these chats with straight facts. Because after you say that, I would definitely try to get Anthony Simons over there.
That's fire.
Because you get Zach in Portland. That's good for both teams.
Look,
that's good for both
I
teams.
mean,
that's crazy, bro. Hey, I know
key,
you listed off 3-point guards wrong, but get them cats, move them out the way.
Low key though, if he does go back to Portland, does it not kind of remind y'all of what they had before though? Like Dame and CJ didn't work.
Zach a little bigger than CJ.
I know, but is that really gonna work? Because it's basically kind of the same thing. They just got Jeremy Grant there now. They got another.
That's a lot to add. I know people sleep on Jeremy, but Jeremy go crazy.
But then they're gonna lose their depth, and then we're gonna be in the same spot that we was last year. Or the years prior. They're gonna look real good regular season. They're gonna think they could, and then it's gonna lose in the second round to somebody, whoever it might be.
Yo, so speaking of Anthony Simons, I pushed the crazy Anthony Simons agenda this offseason. People were saying I was drunk, I was high, yada, 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 whatever. But now it's all starting to come to fruition with Anthony Simons. Like I told you guys it would. Last night they lost to the Bucks, but he had 29-5. He's been balling this year. I told you guys that Anthony Simons was not only a better fit next to Damian Lillard, but I told you he was better than CJ McCollum. This year, he's playing better than CJ McCollum.
It's not better than CJ.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why he's better next to Damian Lillard. Because not only does he shoot as good, maybe even better than CJ, but he's just more dynamic as a one-on-one player. He's bigger and he's more athletic, so he can run fast breaks, go and dunk on people. He's a lob threat, a cut threat, coming through where you can find him and he's going to go finish at the rim. On top of that, bro, he's not 6'2", 6'3" next to Dame, so you don't have two little guards. He's 6'6" and one of the most athletic players in the league, so he actually has the frame of an off guard, of a shooting guard.
Who?
Anthony Simons.
He's 6'3".
He's not.
Yeah, I was about to say. You said 6'6". I was like, we might need to.
He's at the least he's 6'5".
Ron, he's 6'3".
All right, let's bet on it.
Maybe 6'4", because you know what they, how they do that in the NBA with their height.
Hey, look, and if he's 6'3", he play like he's 6'8".
He's
according
listed
to
as Wikipedia at
6'3".
6'3".
He's listed as 6'3".
I will go check ESPN.
But again, I will give you 6'4".
Thing about basketball is you play with your shoes on, so That measurement with your shoes off don't really
Okay,
count.
so he's listed as 6'3", puts his shoes on, so he's
ESPN,
6'6".
Wikipedia, and Basketball Reference all list him as 6'3".
He's a figure.
I was about to say, like, when you were talking about him being bigger than CJ, I was like, okay, like I can get the athleticism. And then you said 6'6". I was like, ooh, I don't
Bro, if he was
remember him
6'6",
being
that would be a problem.
Yeah, I was like, then they definitely wouldn't trade him then if he's 6'6".
If he's 6'6", he'll be Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I still think though, like with
Not
the
a
Bulls trade and
compliment or
whatnot,
insult?
I still think
That's
that
a
they
compliment.
Oh, okay.
the
Big
Blazers don't
compliment.
trade CJ for you. You got to really come with a package right now for the Blazers to trade you for CJ. I think not CJ, Anthony. I think Anthony's close to being untouchable. I think you have to really come with a star and some picks and things of that nature to get Anthony.
Didn't he recently sign like a 2-year or something? Am I tripping?
In the offseason, right after he hooped when Damian Lillard went out,
Because he signed like $100 million.
Yeah, he did.
Earn a base salary, $22 million while carrying cap hit 22. Oh, it was 4 years. Yeah. 4-year, $100 million. Yeah. I feel that
pay that
worth
man.
it. Worth it.
Yeah.
I think that's money.
I like Anthony a lot. I just don't think he's better than CJ. And then that CJ experiment didn't work out. But I don't think that was so much on CJ and Dame. I think that was more on them not having a versatile 3-guard, power forward, small forward situation over there wasn't all that legit.
Like they have in Jeremy Grant now.
Yes, exactly.
The Blazers are really a good team. Really a good team. Because then also that they got other pieces like, y'all don't trip when I say this, but they got Justice Winslow. They got Josh Hart. They got
I like Josh Hart.
Little. They got those type of pieces. Oh, Shaedon Sharp too. I'm big on Shaedon Sharp. They got Shaedon Sharp, so they got a bunch.
Shaedon Sharp's the one who leaps out the gym, right?
Yeah.
Bro, he is that leaping ability is insane. But Ron, I wanted to go back to because you had 3 overrated teams. You only listed the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know if that was in spite of me because of what I told you before the show started.
No, it's just in spite of everybody saying that Lucra is going to put a franchise on his back and lead them into the conference finals again, which I just don't believe.
His back ain't big enough.
A championship caliber team. I mean, I love Lucra, but you can't do it by yourself. It's not. You're just not going to do that in this NBA.
All right, who are the 2 other teams?
But the next team is Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets.
That's crazy.
Agreed.
How are we overrated? How are we overrated?
Over the Mavericks?
Because once again, people say that the Nuggets are this playoff threat, this team that's gonna, possibly be a dark horse team to run through the West and win the championship and this, that, and the third. I know Jokic is what he is. I like Michael Porter Jr. a lot. I've been watching him since he was playing basketball in high school up in Washington at Nathan Hale High School. I like Murray a lot. They have a deep team. I like the KCP pickup.
Bones.
I like all of that. Bones is tough too, but it's just something about the team. I just look at them and I just see frauds. I just see a big ass F just right in the middle. Yeah, you know how in your report card when they just stamp the F right there
with the circle,
F just right there.
Can't relate. Never got an F in my life.
Yeah. So
why are you laughing at that, Ron?
So what teams do you think can beat the Nuggets in a 7-game series?
In the 7-game series?
What teams do you think can beat the Nuggets?
All of them. Are we talking just Western Conference?
Yeah, just Western Conference. I don't
because they're not making the finals, JD. So
I was like,
Suns, Clips, Pels, Blazers,
Kings,
Mavs. Sure, we can go Kings, Grizzlies, Warriors.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All the teams you're talking about.
Now, granted, the thing
I'll
about
give you Warriors, Clips,
Suns.
I don't know about the Suns. I don't know about the Suns.
I can't give you the Suns. I'm not going to hold you. I can't give you the Suns.
Hey, but hold on, no. The Blazers are coming. Pop their ass for real.
That's what I'm saying.
The Blazers are really come get if Dame come and hoop, Anthony come in hoop.
We
Jeremy
saw
gonna
him
do what Jeremy
hoop
do.
against us last time, and they lost.
Wait, timeout though. Timeout.
Without Jamal. Jamal.
This is quite possibly the best team the Dame's ever had. Quite possibly.
It's just okay.
You think that this is better than LaMarcus Aldridge Blazers?
Yeah. Dame was too young.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I understand it.
But hold on, G baby. I'm not just gonna hold you guys and say that all these teams can beat you without turning around and saying that you guys can beat all these teams as well.
Yeah, of course they can, but they won't.
That's crazy. So you think we just gonna lose to like because currently it's Phoenix, Utah, Sacramento, Clippers, Pelicans, and Blazers.
They can beat
we
Utah.
just lose all?
They could beat the Pels.
The Pelicans are better than you think, JD.
I'm high on the Pelicans, but I know they can beat them.
I got the Pelicans.
I mean, they could be anybody. That's the thing. That's the thing about the West.
We got 17 games under our belt. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bro,
we finally hit our stride. You know,
also, you guys would lose to the Lakers too.
No,
no, but for real though, for real.
Is LeBron James still their best shooter? If LeBron James is still their best shooter, no, they're not even gonna be there to have an opportunity. I'm not gonna hold you. They're the only team I can see the Lakers beating in these little top 10 are the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay, that's disgusting that you.
That's it.
Don't think that they could beat anyone else, but anyway,
like,
Ron.
top 10 right now. I don't think they can beat the Grizzlies, the Mavs. I don't think. Okay. Maybe the Kings because it's the Kings. Maybe the Jazz because it's the Jazz. And that's just because of the stigma that they've had on them in years prior. So if it happens again, I wouldn't be shocked. But like top to bottom, like I'm just saying there's a reason they the second worst team in the West. I saw it coming. Lonnie Walker is supposed to be their best 3-point shooter. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the Lakers at all.
I like Lonnie Walker. I just don't like him to have to be any team's best shooter.
I don't think they signed him to be their best shooter. I just think he's shooting better than everybody else. I don't think they're like Lonnie. I don't think they're grabbing Lonnie by his jersey. Like,
tell the Lakers fans in this chat who all season was trying to tell me, the Lakers will be good. We signed Lonnie Walker. That's more defense and shooting now, and we're gonna be and we got Austin Reeves. We're gonna be fine, healthy. We're gonna be just fine.
Hey, but Lonnie was a good pickup though. He's not the
savior
of the
considering
franchise,
what they
he
lost.
Was a good pickup. Lonnie getting down this year.
Yeah, he cool. LeBron James is still their best shooter.
Okay, Ron,
I'm not worried about it.
Who's the third team?
Hey, but for real though, if AD keeps playing the way he's playing and Bron comes back, we might be talking about a different Lakers team. Now, I don't know if AD can sustain this level of excellence, and I don't know how Bron's going to be back post injury. But if Bron do that, AD play the way he plays, and everybody else falls in the line, we may see something with the Lakers. I'm not gonna say too much else about them. We'll see what they do. But as for the third overrated team, I got to go out east now. And you guys are high on these dudes, and I just don't know.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
I really don't know because I'm definitely not talking about the Hawks. Underrated team. Overrated team. I'm just not sold on this backcourt.
Oh, you're talking about the Sixers.
I'm not sold on this backcourt. I'm not, and everybody else over there is young as well. They do got a couple vets, but I just don't know if the Cleveland Cavaliers are as good as you guys said.
Wow!
Hey, come aboard, Ron. Hey, come aboard.
I just don't know.
Hey, Ron, who's better, the Cavaliers or the Sixers? Cavaliers or the Sixers? Who's better?
I'm gonna put my money on the Sixers.
Oh, stop it.
Nah, I'm not gonna.
I agree.
You.
In the playoffs.
Oh, stop it.
I thought you were
not gonna hold you.
James
I'm putting like all my.
That's what I'm
money
saying,
in
JD.
Not to win a chip because I still think Boston and Milwaukee are the top two teams. Like those are the ones making the finals. But I definitely think Cleveland can make a semifinals. Or if they ain't got to see Boston or Milwaukee in the second round, I think they can get there. Honestly, I'm super, and I wasn't a big Donovan Mitchell guy. I wasn't. Like I had nasty agendas against him till he went to Cleveland. I think would have made the
still
playoffs
do.
last year if it wasn't for Jared Allen and Evan Mobley getting hurt towards the end of the season. Like that hurt them. That was their defense. Like that was their rim protection, their interior defense. So I just think now, and the way Evan Mobley, I love what I've seen from Evan Mobley and Darius Garland. I know he was out for a little bit. I'm gonna hold you. If they don't have to see Boston and Milwaukee in the second round, they're making an Eastern Conference.
Bro, I'm telling you, the Cleveland Cavaliers are a 2K team, bro. They are an amazing 2K team. But Ron, keep going, because I'm curious because I've been on this before the season started. So
the thing about the Cavs is undoubtedly they have one of the best top 10 players in the league, like first unit and second unit. And I just don't quite know how that Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell experience is going to work, because it's two guys that need the ball in their hands, two guys that want to dribble around a lot. So how does that work? And my thing is, you need to get Evan Mobley involved. Harris needs some shots. You got some of those guys off the bench that need some shots. I think they should give the ball to Jared Allen a little more. Not necessarily saying isolate him, but get in there, throw him some lobs and things of that nature. I sincerely believe that Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland may shoot them out of a lot of games. So, beautiful part about it is they have a good defense. But I don't know how that experience works. I just don't know.
To be fair, this is kind of how we were talking about the Celtics last season with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And Euro was the big proponent on this of how that just dynamic doesn't work. We saw that it did work last season. My concerns come from this just being a new constructed roster and the going into the playoffs, like, I don't know, playoff inexperience, and then with Mitchell just underperforming.
This is the thing, JD. The Cavaliers last year, what's his name? Ricky Rubio, Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, if all those guys don't get hurt when they get hurt, the Cavaliers had a strong case to win to compete to win the East last year. That was last year, especially the way Kevin Love comes off the bench. Well, and they just got better. Come on, it's their bench is
Cavs overperformed, overexceeded expectations last year. No one had them over the Bucks. No one had them over the Sixers. No one had them over the Celtics.
But overexceeding, I had them over the.
No one had them over Brooklyn.
I had them over the Nets. Overexceeding expectation doesn't necessarily mean overperforming. Just because you expect somebody to do something else, the only way you can overexceed expectations is if you don't expect yourself to do much. But I think they expected themselves to do a lot, and they were on the verge of doing a lot before they had those injuries. I don't think y'all understand how catastrophic the Ricky Rubio injury was to that team. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they were on track. I would say besides the Bucks, and see, I didn't get on the Celtics train until Marcus Smart made that statement about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown passing the ball at the end of the game. Once he said that, I was like, okay, the Celtics are serious. But before that, I was like, the only team the Cavaliers can't beat is the Bucks. The Cavs last year, before they made this trade, were ready to go. So this year, it's just like, okay, Evan Mobley's a year older. Evan Mobley, now I'm not going to put it on him right now, but he's got potential to be in 12, 15 years from now, we might be talking about Evan Mobley with Tim Duncan and those guys.
We're not going to be if Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell don't stop dribbling the air out the ball. By the time he said
Bobby,
you said Tim Duncan.
Wait, slow down, y'all. Slow down, y'all. Slow down. I said, I'm not one of those cats like how people did with Lucra after a second year, like, oh, he's the next Magic Johnson, he's the next LeBron James. I'm not saying he's gonna be, but he's shown the game, he's shown the poise, he's shown the availability, he's shown the IQ on defense and offense to where, this kid in the next 4 to 5 years could be the best power forward in the NBA. And so 10 to 15 years from today, there's no. I'm not going to just write that off like he might not be in that top 15 power forward conversation. He could easily do that.
Forward, right? You also do know Wemby is coming into town.
Oh, okay. Who's power forward? I'm talking about Evan Mobley. If y'all don't see how that boy play ball is,
I see it.
It's, man, he's got the IQ. He can stretch the floor, but his ability to stretch the floor, he doesn't fall in love with that 3-ball like a lot of these young cats are doing nowadays. He play
like
ball. Like if he can get to the rack, he's to the rack. If you need to stop and put it off the glass, if you know anything you give him, he'll take it. There's not much on the floor he can't do, and that's on defense and offense. So when you got a guy like that, it's like Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and Kevin Love. You got some solid bigs right there. And then when you add the firepower of Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, and Karis LeVert, bro. And Isaac Okoro, he's a dog. He's a dog. So I think they check all the boxes. JD Bickerstaff, they got a coach that preaches defense, preaches that unity. They check all the boxes. They check all the boxes. That's all I'm saying.
So you had said last year before the Ricky Rubio trade that the only team that you thought that they couldn't beat was the Bucks.
In the East,
yes. Well, in the East, who's the only team that you don't, or who's the teams that you don't think they can beat this year?
They could beat anybody this year.
All right, now this is where I got to check you because I'm gonna tell you who they're not gonna beat.
Who?
They're not gonna go to Boston and beat the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
They can.
No.
They're
not doing that.
I'm
gonna tell you right now. They're not beating the Celtics. The Bucks, you could just get that off your mind. Hey, just forget about that thought.
We'll see. Look.
Keep going, Ron. Don't stop there.
I'm not gonna lie. After that, I think Cleveland can beat anybody. After that,
that's what I love. Stop. That's what I love. Stop.
They can for sure beat everybody else on the list right there. But I'm gonna give you 3 teams that they're really gonna struggle against, and that I think that they'll lose.
Mm-hmm.
First team I'm gonna go with is we just said it. We just said the Raptors. The Raptors got too much length. I think they propose too many defensive matchups for them. I think they make it tough for them. I think the Raptors make
Raptors are a problem for everybody. They're a problem for everybody.
I get it.
Yo, what are the Cavs gonna do when they put OG Anunoby on what's his name?
Donovan
Mitchell.
They're gonna play basketball, bro.
And then they turn around and put Scotty Barnes on Darius Garland.
Bro, Scotty's not quick enough to stay with Darius. Now I got big love for Scotty. He not, but that's the thing. See, when you talk about a lot of teams
in different places.
Right. But when you talk about a lot of teams, you can say that. Like, okay, what about when you put him on him or him on him, and we just shut it down? The difference is the Cavs actually play basketball. Sometimes they will get into that Donovan ISO, but when you set in the high picks, sometimes you can see when they come and set that high pick with Jared Allen to Donovan Mitchell. When you set that high pick, they get the ball. They can get the ball moving. When they move the ball, it's scary.
But that's the thing. They haven't been moving the ball like that. And that's the thing is when you get a guy like Donovan Mitchell, who unfortunately he was in a Utah system where he had the luxury of just having the ball in his hands all game long and doing whatever he wants to. So now he's taking that same style of play over to Cleveland. And it's like now it's just him and Darius going back and forth, one-on-one. They're not really moving the ball like that.
When they do play like that, I'm not a fan of it. When they play like that, I'm kind of like, all right, Boston, Milwaukee, they're out. But when even when they do play that style of basketball, that old school, when Billy Donovan had Russ and KD, when they play that style of basketball, they still beat everybody in the East besides maybe Toronto, maybe. I'm not giving Philly.
I think they would have beat Toronto last year if they were in the playoffs. Honestly,
yeah, I think
they would.
They came back healthy.
But they were in position to be in the playoffs before.
Right.
So I'm just saying they would have had to be in the play-in. And I think
they lost to the Nets. They lost to the Nets. In that that's right.
So,
you know what? Wasn't it the first round of the play-in? Was it the Hawks?
No, it was Nets and Cavs, and then they lost to the Hawks the second.
Okay, that's
game.
What it was.
I don't know.
That Hawks game was crazy. I don't know how.
Yeah, somebody they were missing crazy shots. I believe. I want to say Karis LeVert sold that game. I could be wrong. He might have sold the Brooklyn game.
Anything Karis LeVert did last year, I'm giving a pass for that. He just had that surgery. He found out he had kidney cancer.
Fair enough. I'm Like
Oh no, I got you. We just talking about what
Yeah.
happened. You're right. I got you. Yeah. But
I'm gonna get into the other two teams that I was saying too. So I said the Raptors. Now you just mentioned Philly.
Raptors is crazy.
I'm gonna tell you why I have the 76ers over the Cavaliers, because they matched them in star power, or just throughout the starting lineup. So the Cavs, they go Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Karis LeVert, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. Okay, well Philly, they go Maxey, Harden, Tobias. What do they go? Georges Niang? Niang starts for him at the 4.
Is it Georges? I mean, I'll check, but
and then obviously Embiid. So those starting lineups are they're very,
PJ Tucker,
they're very
bro.
close to each other. Oh, PJ.
oh yeah.
Look, I'm tripping. Okay, so look, they got PJ, right?
And bro, you can say whatever you want about PJ's offensive game. He is not there to put points on the board. He's there to lock up your star.
He there to put them corner threes in, though. I'll tell you, he there to do that.
Sure.
But look, when you match up those starting lineups, okay, you may say that them starting lineups can cancel each other out. Okay, amazing. But here's my thing, though. When it comes to that, now you got to start looking at the stars and who's going to carry the team through the series. And I'm willing to put my bottom dollar on Maxey. I'm gonna leave James Harden out of this because we know how he does in the playoffs. I'm willing to put my bottom dollar more on Maxey and Embiid to perform more than Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. And here's also the thing too: you can talk about James Harden disappearing in the playoffs, but we've seen some slight Houdini acts out of Donovan Mitchell too. It's been times where Donovan Mitchell has balled, but it's also been times where it's like Donovan.
Who's better in the playoffs, Donovan or James?
You there?
Who's better in the playoffs, Donovan or James?
Who's better in the playoffs, Donovan or Joel Embiid?
Donovan.
And that's the point I'm making. Jared Allen is
sure
there.
about that?
Jared Allen is there, but I don't think Jared Allen has enough for Joel Embiid.
Are you sure that Donovan's better than Joel in the playoffs?
Man, Joel, I'm saying Joel.
No. I'm asking. Yeah, that's
Joel,
what I'm like.
Joel don't be in shape, so he run out of gas come the playoffs. He killed for a little bit last year, or was it the year before? I was finally impressed by Joel, but his track record just shows and it's not like he's choking. I just think a lot of times Joel's just out of shape, bro. I don't think he takes the offseason serious enough for such a long season.
Ron, who's the third team?
I said, okay.
You said Raptors and Sixers.
Yeah, and last but not least, I'm choosing a better backcourt. Hey, if we're gonna do this and run around and dribble and shoot threes,
come on.
Hey, if we're gonna run around and dribble and shoot threes, I'm gonna go who can run around and dribble and shoot threes the best. Give me Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. Yeah,
they'll be lucky to make the playoffs this year, right?
Yeah,
they'll be lucky.
Actually, I think that would be a 7-game series. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, it would be a series for sure. I'm not big on the Hawks.
I thought you were about to say the Nets, low key, but
no, I'm high on the Hawks, and I think like.
Oh, G-Baby, you got the Nets, bro?
No, I don't. That's why I thought no, absolutely not.
Nets are concerning. I want to get.
Think about the Nets though. With that being said, I think Ben Simmons might be on the route to waking up. I still don't think it's gonna be enough. They still need that other big because Royce O'Neal and Ben Simmons can't lead your team in rebounds every game. But other than that, like if they would have said, like I said earlier, if they just would have signed Dwight, I think they might be on to something.
I do want to talk about Ben Simmons' return to Philly too. Dark Ambition sent to Super Chat. Who's winning a 7-game series? Grizz now or the prime Conley Mark Zebo team?
What? What? No, the Grizz now shouldn't even show up to that.
Yeah. With Tony Allen and Rudy Gay there?
Yeah, bro. Please. Zebo, come on.
John Morant.
And I love Jaren Jackson, but he don't want that Zebo problem, bro.
Tony Allen's putting John Morant in a box.
I'm keep it a box
too. Not even an Air Force One's box. I'm talking about one of those Converse boxes, the skinny ones.
Adrian Shake sent to Super. Sorry, Ron.
Oh no, never mind. Go ahead. I ain't gonna ruffle these guys' feathers today.
No, go ahead, Ron. Say that. I gotta hear that.
Those teams, like those Grizzlies teams back in the day, they were good. But once again, that was one of them teams where people were saying, "Oh, they got championship aspirations. They can do this. They can do that." That they were a good conference semifinals team.
And what is this team?
I was about to say, like, are they not the same thing?
Bro, don't act like they're contenders for the championship or something.
Come on, Ron. Come on,
Ron, please don't.
Come
Talk
on,
about the
Ron.
Grizzlies this season.
Yeah, the Grizzlies. I don't know, bro. The die is a cat because I'm ready to say the Grizzlies are good, like great, but then I'm also kind of coming down to reality. But I'm like, I don't know how good Ja Morant can be with Desmond Bane and Dylan Brooks alongside of him. Two very underrated players. Desmond Bane's been going bonkers this year and doesn't get no recognition for what he does. Dylan Brooks is also one of those better role players that nobody gives the credit for. But then with Jaren Jackson in there too, I'm like, bro, these dudes they've really proven that they're really a good team. 2 years ago, I was saying it was a fluke. Last year, I was saying, oh, they're not going to do nothing. But after seeing them play consistently the way that they played, I don't know, bro. And the thing about the Grizzlies, too, is they play defense. Like, I know you were just talking about that team back there. Yeah. Mike Conley plays defense. Tony Allen's a phenomenal defender. Zebo, Marc Gasol, defensive player of the year. But this team plays defense, too. And they got crazy.
So Ron, who you got? Which Grizzlies team you got?
Man, I think these guys gonna shoot them out the gym.
I'm with you, Ron.
I think Desmond, Dylan, Jaren, and Josh shoot them out the gym.
What y'all call that? Recency bias?
Oh, please.
What y'all call it?
Yes, but not in this case. Adrian Shake sent a super chat. If the Bulls had Ayton instead of Vucevic, along with a healthy Lonzo, where would they rank in the East? Throw in a bench score like Clarkson as well.
I don't see what's everybody's problem with Vucevic.
I like Vooch.
What is everybody's problem with Vooch? Now, I think Aiden's a little better. I do think Aiden's better. What you say, Ron?
I think it's the fact that he just be on that 3-point line, just shooting a bunch of threes.
Yeah, but that's what all these bigs are doing.
I think it's kind of comparable. I don't really think it moves the needle much with that. So, Shanny 2X. Bobby, I feel your pain. The Cavs been written off since 2011 until Braun came back. Just RELAX. Bobby, y'all doing good.
I know. I'm staying humble.
Mr. Rudy Poo, stop the cap. Jokic, just a George's Niang with playmaking. Overrated like a MF. That's crazy.
Damn.
That is kind of nasty. Yeah,
Rudy Poo was spitting into that.
I'm sorry you had to send $5 to with a casual statement. That was crazy.
Big Roo with the super chat. Timberwolves 9-8, 3 games back of first place. Relax.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Leaf Diggy, 3-way trade. Trae Young to Memphis, Morant to Dallas, Lucra to Atlanta. Don't at.
Hey, which team would be better if they did that though?
I know which team would be the worst one.
Whichever one Trae goes to?
No, whichever one Luka goes to. Because DeJounte Murray is not getting touches after that. If Luka goes to Atlanta, DeJounte Murray is not getting touches. It's a wrap.
DeJounte ended up punching on Luka.
You guys are haters. Yo, if you haven't paid the entry fee to the Players' Choice live show, make sure you do so right now. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe as well if you have not. Let's talk about Anthony Davis's historic night last night. 37 points, 21 boards, 5 blocks, 5 steals. Second player since 74 to have these numbers. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did it last, and he also did this 5 times.
Huh? You said Kareem? Okay.
What about him?
Sounds like goat shit to me.
AD has been playing great his last like 5. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but he just looks good. And if he can continue with this production, Braun comes back, I think they could start rattling off some wins. But where do we see, if AD keeps us up, do we see the Lakers play-in, playoffs, missing playoffs? Where are we at with this?
Missing the playoffs.
I'm in the same boat.
That's tough.
It means, like, hey, shout out to AD. 37, 21, all that. That's great. They still lost.
They did. Booker and Bridges combined for 50 in this game. All right, I want to talk about the Pat Bev pushing Ayton to the ground. So Ayton was standing over Austin Reeves. He was taunting him after a foul or something. And Pat Bev comes over from the other side of the key and shoves Ayton to the ground. Gets a flagrant, gets kicked. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Ejected.
But he got ejected. So, but the situation, how do we feel about the situation? Bob, how do you feel about Pat Bev coming over and defending Reeves?
You already know I love every part of that. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what Pat Bev is there for. That's how come. The Minnesota Timberwolves played so good last year. It's you gotta have that edge on your team. Like you can't let somebody do that to your teammate, no matter what. Especially it was really Devin Booker. What he did, and then DeAndre Ayton coming over. You need that. You need that on your team. You got to
I
protect your
wonder what
teammates at all
DeAndre
costs.
said to him though,
It
because
was more so just standing over him like that. Like,
hey, once again, you know, I do feel like you need guys like Patrick Beverley in your team to be enforcers. Like even kind of with the Montrezl Harrell situation. A lot of people were saying that was uncalled for. He didn't have to do all of that. But you need players like that on your team to just somewhat be enforcers and just so people just know that they can't just do or say anything to your team. Yeah, okay, you're on Hezzy. Yes, fake tough guy. Okay, but even if he is a fake tough guy, you know that if you say something or do something to my team, this fake tough guy is going to say something to you. He's going to bring it to your front door. You need guys like that. Look, Patrick Beverley, he in a fight, he probably loses that fight. But
as long as he fight, though. As long as he fight.
Exactly my point. Like a lot of people aren't going to fight a dude that they know is going to fight back to him, even if they know they can beat him up. They just don't want to deal with the scuffle. So when you got guys like that on your team that are willing to stick up for your guys, it just says something about your team, and players aren't going to want to do certain things and say certain things to you guys.
Thing about it is like so Euro said pushing. See, that's what I'm saying. Like Euro want the NBA to be a fairy tale land, like the Care Bears or something like that. Like that's not how it is. You can't. Everybody don't want to be friends, bro. Everybody don't want to be friends. From Montrezl doing what he did, Giannis running the back to go get a ball. Like that's just it's. You could call it fake tough guy or whatever, but it really make everybody know who really soft. Because, for instance, both of these situations, he took Giannis' ball and he saw like he took the ball and ran in the locker room. Giannis didn't go get his ball back. He went to the locker room to get another ball. All right, now we know how you get down. He's soft. All right, DeAndre Ayton, like Devin Booker knocks Austin Reeves. Like Austin Reeves, he knocked Austin Reeves down. Look at him like Devin Booker's supposed to be hard now. DeAndre Ayton walks over and stands over him like, bro, what are you doing? So what if Patrick Beverley's supposed to go tap on the shoulder like, hey DeAndre, turn around so I can push you? What you mean he don't bring it to his front door? Like, get up out of here with that. Like everybody don't want a soft ass NBA. Like this new shit, that shit is corny. Everybody don't want to be friends. And if you can't disrespect my teammates, and that's what Patrick Beverley made known.
I mean, it could be just because I'm younger, but like I'm all about like defending your teammates, and you know, like you should. But the way I'm looking at it, like, well, you defended your teammate great, but now the other team is laughing because look, you just lost one of your key pieces. That's just gonna make it harder for you to win when you was already down in the first place.
Good point.
Like this, all about defending I'm all about defending your teammates for sure, but you know, I just feel like you got to be able, especially when the situation like technically had nothing to do with you, you got to be able to keep your emotions in check.
It has everything to
now
do
your
with
team, but I mean like specifically like he wasn't looking. Now Pat Bev was the one on the ground. All right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like yeah, defend your teammates. Absolutely, but now you're getting ejected, and you can say that's who he is, fine. But nevertheless, especially when you a team like the Lakers, who are currently 5-11, I believe, 5-11, the second worst team in the West. The last thing you can afford is to be losing one of your better pieces. It's already hard enough for you to win games as it is, and LeBron ain't there. So It's already hard enough as it is. So I just feel like you got to be able to defend your team. I think if he just would have went up there and like, yo, what you doing? Probably would have got a tech, and could have kept playing. But I just feel like when you do something like that, it's like now you just hurting your team even more.
I definitely understand where you're coming from, especially from a short-minded aspect of it. Like, okay, let's try to win this game. But my thing is, if we're in the playoffs and it's coming down to the wire, I need you to look around the bench and know, like, no, I'm doing everything I can to win for my teammates because my teammates got my back. So in these first 20 games, any of these early games in the season, Like they're not a very good team anyway. But now Austin Reeves knows, like, okay, I got my brothers with me. Like my brothers seeing these big 6'7", 6'10" cats pushing on me, standing over me, and he came and rocked out with me. So now I know that he really got my back. What's more important than one game in the season? And I mean, Patrick Beverley, yeah, I know he's important to their team, but it's not like he's about to turn up and give us 40 right now, so we gonna win. So he like, fuck it, I'll go to the locker room anyway. But now my brothers know when it's battle time, who got their back and who don't.
I want to talk about Ben Simmons' return to Philly. Now, the Nets did end up losing the game 106-115. Ben put up 11 points, 11 boards, 7 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks. I think the Nets are leading the league in block shots or something. And, their knock has been they need bigs, like defend the rim, whatever. But Ben Simmons and Kevin Durant, I think, are like leading the pack in terms of blocks per game, or they're near the top.
There too.
Or Claxton. Sorry, I said Ben Simmons. Claxton and Kevin Durant. I'm pretty sure.
The Brooklyn Nets are averaging 7.3 blocks a game.
Yeah. So my biggest takeaway with Ben Simmons last night was he looked like he's building his confidence back, and they put him back in kind of that main ball handler role. He was bringing the ball up the floor. He was establishing the offense, starting the offense, and he just looked like he was like comfortable again, or more comfortable than he has been since the beginning, since the season started. And so I'm looking at Bobby. You mentioned this earlier, in that Ben Simmons is looking like he's kind of making those strides to come back to be the Ben Simmons that we kind of saw in Philly his first few years. So I don't know what the rest of the year will look like for him, but I like what he did last night. And if he's able to maintain that role or stay in a similar role to that and continue to build on his confidence, I like Simmons. I like the Nets have a much better chance this season.
I think they have a much better chance, but I don't think that's saying much, because the chance they had before that was, wasn't a chance at all. Like I said, I just don't think they're big enough. That's just that simple for me. I just think they're too small. Even with those blocks, like, that's cool, but it's not going to happen for them.
Ron,
I mean,
I
hope that Ben Simmons finally, gets it together, because at the end of the day, we can say whatever we want about, like, Ben Simmons. We know he's been hurt. We know he's been going through stuff. So, like, I want him to get whatever is going on in his head, like, get it out, be done, like, let's keep it pushing on basketball. So if I just look at the basketball aspect, like, okay, yeah, you finally getting comfortable. You finally, getting back to where you need to. But, like, the Sixers, it's kind of the same thing with the Lakers. Like, y'all still lost. Sixers didn't have Embiid. They didn't have James Harden. And y'all, like, if there was any time for y'all to win, that was the time. And, like, so yeah, like, Ben, like, he played solid, like, y'all had everybody. Y'all had KD there. Y'all had Kyrie there. And it's not like KD and Kyrie played bad. Y'all still are losing. Like, at this point, like, especially when it comes to the Nets, since KD and Kyrie got there, they've been a championship aspiration type team. And they've made it to the second round. Granted, KD's foot was on the line. They had injuries then. They made all the trades, and then they got smacked last year in the first. Like, at this point for me, like, these are not games. Like, yeah, anybody can get caught on any day. It's an 82-game season. But these are not games that I feel like y'all should be getting caught by. Like, even if Joel Embiid was just there, all right, cool. Like, all right, it's Joel Embiid. That's a top 10 player in the league. Some people think he's the best center in the league. Okay.
Nobody thinks that.
Both of y'all think that.
Dell does.
I don't think he's the best center.
As a matter of fact, does Joel play tonight? Y'all both got the Lucra app, right? Well, check this out. Put your money where your fat mouth is.
Who do they play?
Bro, they don't even. You don't even have to put it up against someone who's playing either, or in that matchup. Joker's playing. Joker's playing tonight. Oh, Joel's hurt.
All right, well, look, check this out. Y'all just take Jokic, and I'll take whatever other all-star that you guys want.
Yeah. Hey, you know what though? So somebody did say that in the chat. What we were talking about a while back, the fact that the Nets might not necessarily need to just get bigger, but they're not even putting themselves in position to get rebounds. It's like they're out there boxing out. And I remember I tried to explain that to Dub, like you just have to box out. And he was saying, well, they're too small. So I kind of agree with both at this point because they're obviously not doing. And I know it's an NBA, so you would assume that we still have to do box out drills every day. You know, the one where the one where the two guys on the bottom, coach throws the ball at the rim, and you got to get the rebounds before you can get out. Those drills, I mean, they're not. He's definitely right. Like they're not even boxing out. So that takes me back to what I said a couple weeks ago about the Nets. Like, do they want to play anymore? Was it just Steve Nash? Like, what's the problem in Brooklyn? Is it the whole organization, or is it that they're just not big enough? Are they not trying hard enough? Do they not have the heart? Is it Kyrie? What is it?
I'm trying to put it together, and like this is one of the biggest just mysteries that I've ever came across because I'm watching this game last night. I turn it on, and they're down 10 points, and I'm looking, and I'm like, I know Joel's not playing because he's hurt. I know Harden's been hurt. I know Maxey just rolled his ankle. So what's going on? And Brooklyn is now fully healthy. They got all their pieces. I'm trying to figure out why you guys can't play together.
Bro, my measuring stick on the success of the Nets season is going to ride on how they perform probably like 10, 12 games leading into All-Star break, because that's really where you start seeing the beginning of the season. Rust is worn off going into All-Star break, how you kind of end that stint first half of the season. Then you can kind of get a better gauge of what that second half might look like. So that's what I'm kind of waiting for. So I don't put too much weight on the last night. It's like whatever.
It's not me putting too much weight on last night. It's the whole season so far. And even last year in the playoffs, I'm like, you guys have. Delroy will come up here and die on this hill. They have the best point guard in the NBA. They have the best player in the NBA. Then they have another all-star caliber player. Then they got a bunch of other pieces. Patty Mills, Joe Harris, Royce O'Neal, Nick Claxton. I'm just looking at these guys. And it is a good collection of guys. Why can you guys not play a brand of basketball that can win?
Ron,
I just don't get it.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong about their pieces. They have good pieces. You also have to take into account all the shenanigans that went on before the season started with the trade rumors around Kevin Durant wanting to get out. Then the season starts, the Kyrie situation happens. Then Steve Nash gets the boot. There's been so much controversy and just things going on in the Brooklyn Nets organization that you have to deal with that mentally too. That's why I'm saying let that stuff be the past. Let them get to the point where they can move on from that and then move forward.
Right,
maybe Steve Nash wasn't the problem.
This is what I got to say to that. The Celtics went through a shit ton of controversy. Oh my God, they were up in flames with everything that they've been going through. Well, they look like they're the best team in the East right now. Then I'm gonna go out west. The Phoenix Suns. Hey, they melted down in the playoffs last year. Turned back around, had a whole bunch of shenanigans with their owner. Then going into the season, something happens with one of their starters, one of their key veterans, Jay Crowder. Then Chris Paul gets hurt. So the Suns have been going through all of that, yet they're still at the top of the West. I just don't get it with Brooklyn. It's Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Ben Simmons, and a bunch of other adequate pieces. Why can these guys not play a winning form of basketball? How are they losing to a Philadelphia 76ers team who, as of last night, if they were constructed like that, they would be getting Victor Wembanyama with Tobias Harris as their best player. I just don't get it. I'm
happy Z-Dub sent this super chat because I asked and y'all ignored me. Y'all ignored me. Was Steve Nash the problem or not?
Yeah, let's pull it up. Z-Dub. We still going to act like Steve Nash was the main problem, or can we agree that he was the scapegoat?
He was a clear scapegoat.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Do I think Steve Nash is a good coach? Absolutely not. But I can definitely agree that he was for sure the scapegoat because, like, the way I look at it, like, okay, yeah, you can blame Steve Nash all you want, but like, I was like, all right, let's see what y'all do when he's out. And nothing's really changed to me. Nothing.
Bro,
Only granted, it's a
Give
small
us
sample size.
time.
Granted, it's a small sample size, but like nothing. Like KD is still gonna be KD. KD seems like he only wants to play in like the best situation possible. If it's not the best situation possible, everything's a problem. Like I don't know how true this was, but like wasn't he not like didn't he say like not too long ago like, oh, what can you expect from this lineup or something, like basically criticizing his teammates? Mm-hmm. Like that's not something you say. Like that's not like, so me as a teammate, if I'm playing with you and you're like, oh, well, what do you expect from the guys I'm playing with? Like, what do you expect? I'm like,
he's not wrong.
I mean,
yeah, he was wrong for saying that.
And we can feel that way. But just as far as chemistry and like playing together, I'm not gonna want to play with you. I'm not gonna want to play my all out for somebody who don't even want to be here. Like that's the way I feel. So it's like, yeah, like Steve Nash, don't get me wrong, he was not the man for the job. He should have never got it in the first place. Who was there before? Kenny Atkinson, whatever. They should have never got rid of him.
No, they had to, or KD was going to cry about it.
I mean, I hear you, but I feel like as GMs, I feel like, yeah, like give your players the power, but sometimes I feel like they give them too much. And why? Like I would have sat down and be like, why am I going to get rid of a coach who's been building something really good here with especially like with D'Lo and Jared Allen on them there? Yeah, you might got to trade them to get those guys, but I'm not going to get rid of a guy who was making good progress, building up chemistry when people thought we were bottom of the league. I'm not about to get rid of a guy who's doing that. So like, it might not be the guy you want, but we gonna make this work.
Hey, am I mistaken, or is Kenny Atkinson on the Warriors bench now?
Yeah, I believe he's still on their staff.
Yeah, I thought so. That's what I thought.
Yeah, so I just feel like with the chemistry wise, you can have all this championship aspirations. You can have the talent, Kyrie, KD. Ben Simmons can go back to being the best Ben Simmons we've ever seen. It's going to mean nothing if you don't have chemistry. And when you play teams like Milwaukee, when you play teams like Boston, again, when you honestly, even if you play up a team against the Cavs, I think they're going to struggle. I think it's going to be a problem. And you got all these aspirations. Eventually, if you keep getting everything you want and you keep not succeeding to the point where y'all should be, I'm going to stop looking at everything else that you keep trying to get rid of, and I'm going to start looking at you. Like maybe KD is the problem. Maybe Kyrie, to a lesser extent, is the problem. So,
Z-Dub sent a super chat. Congrats to Bobby's Kings, man. I can admit when I'm wrong, and D Fox is on fire. # big ox shit.
Somebody please tell me what the Brooklyn Nets need. Chat, just
need Domantas Sabonis.
Oh, all right. Well, that's it. Hey, for real, the Domantas will be tough in Brooklyn, though. That'd be crazy.
That would be nice.
They're soft. They got terrible leadership from top to bottom. They refuse to play together. KD out here making his teammates not like him. I don't know, man.
Bro,
you know what's crazy is on the talk NBA radio and stuff yesterday, I was listening, and like Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine, they were on there talking about how it's going to be so funny when the Nets go into Philly tomorrow and kick their ass, and all the Ben Simmons haters are going to be quieted in the third quarter when the Nets are up 20. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, well, what team are these guys in the media getting paid extra to say this and like make excuses for Kevin Durant further and further? What's going on to where they don't see what we see? Because clearly we all, I'm pretty sure, except for JD, you're saying give him a little more time. Everybody sees it, but what is it that got people thinking the Nets are just all of a sudden going to wake up tomorrow and be the team they said that they were going to be 3 years ago? Because we have not seen that team, except for that one playoff series against Milwaukee when KD foot was too big. I don't see what everybody sees with these Nets.
telling you, give it time. I can get
We've
on
given
your
it
side.
3 years, JD.
I can get on your side
JD.
after All-Star break. Monday, the Bucks played a Damian Lillard-less Blazers. Giannis dominates in a Bucks win. However, they only won by 8 points, but he put up 37-7 in 6, 2 steals, shot 66%. I think this is almost more of a testament to the Blazers being able to fight a contending team and take the game down to the wire, only losing by 8 without Dame, and just further pushes Ron's agenda. The Trailblazers are for real this year.
They were actually up in that game too. Giannis just came out in the second half and went ballistic. So they ended up, obviously pulling away. But the Blazers were, they were fighting and they were winning for a majority of the game.
Yeah. I will say I was definitely wrong going into the season about my Blazers take, thinking that they're going to be kind of not bottom of the barrel, but not really playoff bound. I do think that they can make the playoffs, whether it's through the play-in or whatever. And I do think that they could take a potential, they really could take games off of teams and shock somebody. I wouldn't go as far as to say that they could go Western Conference in NBA Finals. But they just have potential to knock people off. So they're going to be scary. No one's going to want to see the Blazers in the playoffs. So it's just dope to see, Dame. I like seeing Dame succeed, like seeing Dame cook. But
I think at least for me, I thought I was like, well, if Dame comes back healthy, I feel like I've seen him make playoffs with worse teams and not just make playoffs, but be like 5 seed, 6 seed, like not playing. So I always felt like they had a chance, but yeah, you're right. Without Dame, how they've been able to fight. I love, like I said, Anthony Simons, love what I've seen from him. I like Jeremy Grant. I'm still salty that he chose to go to the Pistons instead of stay with the Nuggets to do nothing. But Jeremy Grant, and then of course Nurkic is still there, who's a solid big. I think this team can, like you said, they're going to be a tough out for anybody. They probably won't make it that far, but they're going to make them work for it. So,
all right,
the thing
Ron.
about it in the playoffs is it's like they're going to go as far as the other players other than Damian Lillard take them. Damian can only take them so far. The other guys got to step up. So this is actually a blessing in disguise for them with these guys being able to play without him and getting this time without him is showing that they actually can't contend and compete without him. Because it's like, bro, Damian Lillard is going to make big shots. He's going to give you those 30 pieces in the playoffs. He's going to do what he does. But without those other players to play defense, cancel out other players, come in and give you 25s, 20s, things like that. Jeremy Grant getting double-doubles, things like that. Without that, the Blazers don't stand a chance in the playoffs.
All right, Ron, I want to talk about the Los Angeles Clippers because they're starting to catch a little bit of fire right now. They started the season 2-4, and they're 9-3 since that hellacious start. Do you still like the Clippers in the postseason?
What's their record since that hellacious start?
9-3.
9-3. Hey, don't look now. Just don't look now, but they coming. And on top of that, keep in mind, Kawhi is still coming to himself. He's still coming to himself. And it's like, I don't think Paul George has played as good as he can possibly play. But, they got a good team all around the board. And it's like, bro, don't nobody really want to play the Clippers like that. Like, you can look down the West. Nobody wants to play the Clippers.
Oh, yeah, nobody wants to play them in the playoffs because if Kawhi is back to even 90% of Kawhi, last 2 times we saw him in the playoffs fully healthy, he was going crazy. So nobody want to see them in the playoffs, but I just hope, which again, I don't think they'll fall off that bad. I just hope they keep it together to make it. That like don't get caught in the play-in. I mean, because again, it's early in the season. There's teams that are gonna go up and there's teams that are gonna go down. But the West thing, it's not like you're guaranteed 6 and the playing teams are just there. You know what I mean? Like it was last year. No, there's teams where if they face Utah or they face, Sacramento to a lesser extent, or if somehow, some way the Suns get caught up in the play-in, like there's playing teams, the Grizzlies right now and the Mavs, there's playing teams they can get caught by on a one-game thing. We already know what Lucra does to them. So if they just need to have a little bit more sense of urgency and secure themselves sooner rather than later. I'll put it like that. Because if they wait too long and they find themselves, because Kawhi, as much as we want him to come back, Kawhi is not going to play if he don't feel like it. If he got a little back nagging thing, he ain't gonna play. So if they losing out on that, if they haven't secured their spot, they can get caught. So they need to have a little bit more sense of urgency for me. But hey, 9-3 in their last 12. Shout out to them.
I expect them to continue to keeping that type of play up too. Like how I said, they got too good of a team not to win a majority of their games, even without Kawhi. On top of that, man, I try to tell you guys it's a whirlwind coming off the bench. I'll try to say John Wall was done. He couldn't hoop anymore. Well, look at him now.
The good take, Ron.
John Wall's only going to get better.
That was a good take, Ron.
I couldn't believe people acting like John Wall wasn't coming with it. He was balling before the Rockets sat him down. What was he like? What he got worse?
I just felt like what he's doing right now is exactly what they need him to do. Like just come off the bench, run that second unit, get a couple buckets every now and then. That's all they need him to do. So he's doing his job.
Thing about it is, I'm still under the belief that John Wall needs to be starting. Like, if you've watched a majority of their games this year, like I have, and monitored them closely, John Wall's better than Reggie Jackson. And I don't think it's even a debate to even be had. John Wall, the other night, John Wall had 10 assists at halftime. At halftime. Finished the game with 15 assists.
Just because he's better don't mean he should start.
No, but this is why I'm saying that, though. Especially when Kawhi comes back. You don't need a guy like Reggie Jackson out there chucking up the fucking ball and taking shots away from Kawhi and Paul George.
Reggie doesn't though when he plays.
I was like, I don't think he does that now though.
All right,
Reggie plays his role.
I don't know what.
I don't think he's just chucking up. I don't think he's
Mr. Bucket.
I'm just saying. You saying like he's gonna take away shots from PG. I don't think he's gonna.
Reggie Jackson shoots a lot
as much as you're giving off. I don't.
The thing about it is, John Wall is not gonna do that, and Reggie will. It's not like he will every day, but Reggie can get in his bag and just start chucking shit. But John Wall is gonna be looking for Paul George and Kawhi.
The thing about it though is I like Reggie Jackson. I'm not knocking Reggie Jackson, right? And Reggie Jackson got game. You've seen just the other night he had 27 points and he won our Lucra bet against Darius Garland. But I just think that John Wall's a better player. I think he's a better point guard for that team. And on top of that, let's not act like John Wall can't go for 20 on any given night either. Yeah, Reggie can shoot a little better, but John Wall's been shooting pretty damn good this year. And on top of that, I'm just like with Paul George on one wing and Kawhi on the other wing, and then you got Marcus Morris and you got Big Zubac down low. I like John Wall in there pushing the break and breaking down the defense and getting these guys better looks than Reggie Jackson. But I mean, hey, if it's working with Reggie starting, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
I mean, low-key, they're taking the same amount of shots this year, though.
Who, Reggie and John Wall?
Yeah, they're taking the same amount. It's like point some off. So if you want to start John Wall, like it's cool. John Wall, like I feel like John Wall is John Wall. So like name value alone, you would think he would start. But I think him running that second unit coming off the bench, I think that's better suited for him because that means like you don't have to worry about him like trying to keep up with the starters and stuff. You could just let him be him in the second unit because John Wall in the second unit is gonna
point guard. He's not somebody that's coming out there trying to get his own money. He's a point guard. He's out there to get everybody else involved, and he does that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I think he's a better playmaker for sure. I don't think that's any questions asked. I just think, like, especially right now, like, I think you can let Reggie rock. You know what I mean? And then if you do decide to switch it, that's cool. But like, I don't know. I feel like it's not really gonna change too much. It's just I feel like that second unit's not gonna get the playmaking it probably should. Because I feel like you're gonna need that playmaking more with the second unit, as opposed to with a healthy Kawhi and PG, you can get away with not having as much playmaking
most definitely.
because they're them. They're
Ty Lue Ty Lue looking for that balance in the first and second units. He doesn't want to have a fall off, a drop off when he goes to his bench. And the other thing though, G baby, as far as the shot attempts though, you got to think like John Wall's shots are more to the rack or like mid range pull ups, things like that. Whereas Reggie will get into the zone where he's shooting step back threes and whatnot.
No, I get you. They do take two different type of shots. Like I'll give you that for sure. It's just like I feel like I don't think they're taking away as much as like Ron was trying to allude to.
I like John Wall in the second unit though. I like John Wall coming in the game with those other cats, Covington, Kennard, Norman Powell, whoever's in that second unit.
Yeah,
big Moses down there. They're just deep. They're so deep that I like John Wall because John Wall turns their second unit into a starting unit. Really, when you got John Wall in that second unit, it's like I got two starting lineups. And when you got Reggie in the second unit, no knock to Reggie, but you just missed that John Wall effect. So I'm in favor of having John Wall continue to come off the bench, but against some teams, you might need to ramp his minutes up a little bit.
Yo, the Clippers are really 11 deep. If we really want to they could run 10 deep in the playoffs, like if they really wanted to. Like
easy, like their dude. Who's like probably the 11th man on their team is Terrence Mann, 10th or 11th man. You remember what Terrence Mann did to the Jazz a couple years ago? What he went off for like 37? Mm-hmm. Was that 2 years ago or last year? That was 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago, right?
When Kawhi got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
That game right there showed a lot of the Ty Lue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But I'm just saying though, like. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't tinker with John Wall. But either way it goes, you still got two good point guards, and then you still got just a bunch of tiers of other players who are good within their own capacity. But on top of that, too, as a unit, the Clippers, all these guys that we're talking about, they all play defense. So it's like, bro, they're not only are they a good offensive team, but they're a pretty hard-nosed defensive team as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, man, Player's Choice would be nothing without the community, bro. You guys make this all happen, and I just wanted to shout out all the all-star members on the Player's Choice YouTube channel. Nick T is back, re-upped his all-star membership. MC Robinson, Victor Moreno, 40KOW, Steven Castor, Alejandro Rodriguez, KW, Capital Kev, James Goz, 123, Jeffrey Williams, the second, Sosa, Belton, SSJ, Gaby, Jolty, Loaded, King J, Brian Fawcett, The Broctopus, iOS Inc., Gideon, Zeke Noel, Dorian Clayton, Rio Maxos, Straightway, Georgia Elder Rufus, and Odd Malik. Shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all. And thank you to everyone who is a Player's Choice member from the casuals to the all-stars. Y'all are dope, man. Everyone who's been sending super chats today and just send super chats throughout the, every show, man. Y'all, we love y'all. Also, I forgot to mention at the top of the show, we rebranded Player's Choice. We got the new layout. We got the new logo. How do y'all feel about this rebrand with everything? How do we look? I'm thinking
Check out the logo. Here it goes.
Nice. We're looking nice.
Ooh.
Christopher D sent a super chat. Said, is it fair to label James Harden the Tony Romo of the NBA? Great regular season player, but suspect in the playoffs.
I think that's disrespectful to Tony Romo. And if you go to Dallas and say that, you might get beat up. Those people in Dallas might hurt you if you ever compare James Harden to Tony Romo. That's disrespectful.
They will hurt you if you come to Dallas and say that. But Tony Romo, I feel like it's bad because in hindsight, we realize it wasn't Tony Romo's fault they was losing. It was coaching. We know Tony Romo got it up here. So in hindsight, that's kind of hard to say. I wouldn't say James Harden's the Tony Romo. Maybe I don't even know who you could say that with because, that Tony Romo wouldn't be the guy I used because it wasn't Tony Romo's fault.
He's like Sean Alexander, got busy for 2 seasons.
Okay, that's OD.
Don't slander my man Sean Alexander, bro.
Sean Alexander.
My bad. I'm not. My bad, y'all. JD, Ron, I'm sorry.
That was a crazy stray.
Yeah, Sean Alexander is very nasty.
Jeez.
All I know is I can't think of nobody else other than Romo, so I would have to say that's James Harden's football comp, Tony Romo.
Tough.
Yo, I want to like James Harden. I really want to.
I don't think you do, Ron.
I really want to so bad. I want to give James Harden
used to
love.
a lot.
But it's just like, bro, you can't come up here year after year after year and sell us wolf tickets. You can't have one of the greatest regular seasons of all time and come to the playoffs and just be like, I'll save it for next regular season. Forget
He
it.
might be more Aaron Rodgers, just without the ring. That might be better. He might be more Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is a GOAT, though.
No.
Yeah, but not in the playoffs.
No.
not in the playoffs. Aaron getting in playoffs and whew.
You know what?
CP3 is Aaron Rodgers without the ring. CP3 is Aaron Rodgers without the ring.
Low-key, they both are. That's probably it's better than Tony Romo. I'll give you that. Yeah, I like that.
If you watched our show on Sunday, our last show, episode 184, we put a Lucra wager of the week, or established a Lucra wager of the week. So the Suns Utah Jazz rematch this Saturday. We're taking all the Lauri Markkanen wagers if you guys want to send our way. But if you guys want to find a friend or someone to put that matchup against Markkanen versus Booker, you take whoever you want, but we're rocking with Lauri. We like Lauri in this game. He went off they both went off last time. Booker got the best of Lauri, but the Jazz put the Suns away. So we're thinking that Lauri's going to get the best of Booker this game.
I got $20 on Lauri Markkanen outscoring Devin Booker this game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Coming from you.
Coming from me. Oh, they're gonna lose. The Phoenix Suns are gonna win this game. But
I think it's the other way around. I think the Jazz are gonna win this game, but Devin Booker is gonna outscore Lauri Markkanen.
That's where I'm going with it, but
So make sure if you have not already, make sure that you sign up for Lucra. Use code Players Choice. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. If you're here live, it is in the description for if you're watching after the fact or listening.
Also tonight, I have already accepted about 4 different bets from 4 different people. My bet of the day is I'm taking Jason Tatum to score more than Luka Doncic. So if you believe that Luka will outscore Jason Tatum in their head-to-head matchup today, then send me that bet.
I'm taking that, Ron.
JD's gonna owe me some money today, and the rest of you guys, if you are silly enough to fall into that Luka Doncic trap tonight, then you can go ahead and cough up some bread to me too.
Please. That is
free.
That's free, chat. What were you gonna say, Bob?
James Harden is Mark Sanchez.
That's
disrespectful.
That is
disrespectful.
It's a fact.
Who did you read that, or that's just what you came up with? Because that's
I read that in the chat. I just was in there.
Hey, Bob, you've been talking about recently how we don't give role players enough love. But speaking of role players, and this is coming straight out of your home, KD, big praise for Kevin Huerter. He was comparing him to this season. He was comparing him to Stephen Clay in terms of what he's been doing behind the arc. Shooting 50%, and I want to say it's on like 7 attempts.
Mm-hmm.
Shooting that thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big shot maker. Like I've been saying, Kevin Huerter's a big shot maker. Nobody knew it. Like when we got Kevin Huerter, that was so sneaky. I was juiced about it, especially when we got Malik right after that. I was like, finally, our shooting guard situation was set. Kevin Huerter's always been a big shot maker. He was over there in Trae Young's shadow. Trae Young out there shooting 53s a game. But I mean, hey, KD caught it firsthand, so he know.
I knew that Kevin Huerter could shoot the ball and shoot the ball well, but he's a career average 39% from 3. So shooting 50% is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just,
well, I mean, he's not
that opportunity.
Yeah. He's not going to finish the season, obviously, shooting 50.
But he'll finish above 45.
I got him. And, but this is the thing. So when we got a shooter like Kevin Huerter that can shoot as well or close comparably to Stephen Clay, and then you bring Mike Brown in, off that Warriors bench. He's starting to bring some of that motion, those motion offenses. You can see some of the plays where Kevin Huerter's coming to get open, and those are, that's a lot of stuff that the Warriors were running. So finally, I think it's just finally a mesh. Like I talk a lot about buying in, teams buying into coaches and coaches buying into teams as well. If we're not all on the same page, there's no success going to happen. I don't care who's on your roster. So once we bought into what Mike Brown is doing, and I think he brings a lot of confidence out of our guys like Trey Lyles, even Keegan Murray. When Keegan Murray is aggressive, bro, he looks like one of the best rookies in the league. But back to Kevin Huerter and all that. I'm just happy to finally see him have a shot out of Trae Young's shadow. As little as Trae Young's shadow might be, he was in it, So it's it's like finally he gets to come out and he gets to shoot. De'Aaron, everybody's looking for him. Like you can see, everybody looks for Kevin Huerter when he's moving without the ball, and that's a big part of basketball. Like he wouldn't be able to do this with cats like Lucra, James Harden that spend all day dribbling the ball. You got to move that. You got to move the rock. You got to move the rock.
Bob, you're talking straight out of your ass because Luka Doncic has found his teammates at the 3-point line. Like last year, he was like the number one guy to find his players on the but see, like Dub says, make context matter again. When you dribble into the lane and then all of a sudden it's 5 people around you and you have to pass the ball to somebody, when everybody's circling you, somebody has to be open. So it's like that's the best. That's the best place to get the ball from if you're shooting.
Well, I didn't mean to disrespect your guy. I'm sorry for saying that. But let me instead of disrespecting your guy, let me go back and praise Kevin Huerter some more. Okay. He moves without the ball. He's bought into Mike Brown, instilling some of that Warriors motion offense in Sacramento. I'm just happy to see it. But we're going to stay humble and we're going to continue to light the beam.
As a shooter, fire, and as a shooter too, that instills so much confidence in you that your guys are looking for you, actively looking for you, coming off screens, and so you don't feel like you're running around for no reason. Because I've been in those situations where I felt like I was just moving without like a purpose. Like, why am I even doing this if I'm not going to touch the rock? So as a shooter, it's like when they're looking for you, you want to hit those too.
And there's going to be games too, like so. For instance, with Kevin, Malik, and Harrison Barnes, when they get there's going to be some games where we just fill it up, where we shoot more than we usually would shoot, and those are the games where you're going to see like, yeah, this shit is dangerous. Because when Harrison Barnes, if you're not standing on his toes, and you close out too late, he's going to put it in you. Kevin Huerter's, you could have your hand on Kevin Huerter's face, and you're gonna feel it. So we have some knockdown shooters up there.
Yeah, y'all got a good amount of people shooting over 35 from 3. So I like what I'm seeing.
That's another thing too. So another reason why he can instill some of that what he got from Steve Kerr and the Warriors, and just him picking up, because I mean Mike Brown's been around the league for a long time, but just picking up things from other programs and maybe just stuff that he's instilling on his own, like to have DeMontis there, where when he had Draymond is making those good passes. DeMontis is also a good passer. Y'all got to remember who his pops is. You know what I'm saying? So that's just in his blood, that moving the ball. So when he has the ball at that high post and maybe he's getting cutters or Kevin coming off that curl right there, he's gonna look for that. So we have people that are not only have the ability to pass the ball, but they want to. They have the willingness to pass the ball, and so that's always a good thing. It's like I was saying, I'm kind of comparing that Draymond's willingness to pass the ball to DeMontis' willingness to pass the ball, and I think Kevin Huerter is he's receiving that well. And I mean, he's a knockdown shooter. He's always been a knockdown shooter. This isn't new. This isn't new.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, but this is one thing, because this, and Bobby will attest to this, and even you guys have heard me say this a lot. I said this a lot when I get to talking about teams. I said it about the Utah Jazz, and I said it about other teams. When you have players that have been around the league and have been on teams that have been good or been to the playoffs and made playoff runs, that bodes well for your team. And so when you look at the Sacramento Kings right now, you guys don't have too many of them, but keep in mind, Kevin Huerter played in Atlanta the last 3 years that they went to the playoffs. He was there on that team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wasn't Trae Young. He wasn't the star player. He wasn't John Collins. He wasn't the second best player, but he was a starter on that team. He was there. He went through the fire that year. Then when you turn back around and you get a guy like Harrison Barnes. Now, a lot of people forget Harrison Barnes was there in the beginning of this whole Warriors dynasty thing. He was there initially for the first couple years before Kevin Durant came. He grew up with them guys, with Clay and Steph and Draymond. So
don't forget he was at North Carolina that year too.
What, when they won?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you got two guys like that have been around the league, and I'm sure you guys got some more vets too that I'm not putting together. But when you got two dudes like that in your starting lineup, that's gonna help a lot.
Yeah, and then I think with Mike Brown, I think just him, because like Bobby said earlier, how he's been around the league for a long time. Like Mike Brown, when they signed him as the coach, I was a little skeptical, only just because I really thought when they got Luke Walton, I was like, okay, this is going to be where the Kings, they might not compete for a chip, but we're going to see like, all right, we're going to see the progression. And it just never came. I've been saying for a long time, the Kings, I just thought it was going to be better than what it had been. Like the Kings had been like bottom of the barrel. Like, and I just thought the Kings might like at least be like 8, 9, 10 seed. Like I thought there was no way the Kings shouldn't have made the play-in last year. Or like if there was play-in years before, I was like, well, there's no way the Kings shouldn't be a 9, 10 seed. When they were never even in that. They were hardly in that range, or even if they got there, it was like, it was whatever. I just thought they would be better. They had De'Aaron Fox. They had Tyrese. They had Buddy. Harrison Barnes was still there. I love Rashawn Holmes. I mean, other people might see him as whatever, but I love him as a player. At the time, we thought Marvin Bagley was going to be something. Like, I just always felt like they were, like, I didn't know what it was, but I just felt they weren't. I'm so sorry.
Hey, yo, when they, you're good. You're good. That ain't your fault.
Yeah.
When they got Luke Walton as a coach, I thought they were phoning it in, bro. It's like that was disgusting.
I just thought they'd be a little better than what they
giving up.
But they'll. I'm just glad that they're finally kind of hitting the potential stride that they should have.
Yeah, I mean it's still early though. It's still early. We got to stay humble and just keep playing ball, and that's a big thing I like about the Kings. Like earlier, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, JD. So when we first started out, y'all was asking like about the Kings and whatnot, and I'm like, all right, I believe we can get. Remember, I specifically saying that we could be in the playoffs 6, 7. I said 6, 7, 8 seed, and I named all the teams that were better than. And then you and Dale lost. Still like, oh well, you said 6. I was like, okay, but I'm thinking we're in that range. Then I see the grit that we play with. We beat the Cavaliers, and then the next game, we kind of went to sleep. I thought maybe we got a little sniff of success and we were just happy with it, you know. But then De'Aaron Fox came in the second half and he turned this whole team up like, yo, we're not happy with that. Let's get better. Then we beat the Nets. Then the next game, I think it was either the Spurs or the Pistons. We kind of came into a little lull, but we pulled it out. We showed Malik Monk came out. He showed like, no, we're not satisfied. When I see that type of heart that we have, especially when you look at guys off the bench like Devion, Malik, Terrence Davis, even Rashawn, even though he's not playing right now, I think that might be a trade piece that we use coming up. But Harrison Barnes, we just got that grit. I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. We have a really good shot to win the West.
Oh my God.
We have a really good chance to win the West. You got to look at our scoring.
Really not lying though. He's really not.
Our scoring ability. No. Our scoring ability, bro. We score. No, look how we score so efficiently, so fast, so effectively. Nobody in the world can stay in front of De'Aaron Fox. I mean, we have a top 10 big. Domantas Sabonis is still underrated. He's still underrated.
Bob, I will agree with you in that. I don't know where they'll finish, but I will say I could see it actually potentially happening now. I was acting like it was absurd. It doesn't look as crazy as I thought. Will they finish there?
Coming out the West?
But coming out the West is crazy. Like, I was with you. I was with you
in the season.
Regular
season or playoffs?
Well, I'm talking about playoffs, regular season, whatever.
All right, bro.
Look. There's only 3 teams. There's only 3 teams in the NBA we don't want to play. The only teams in the NBA we don't want to play is the Clippers, the Bucks, and the Celtics. Now we don't want to play Steph Curry. We want to play the Warriors, but we don't want to play Steph. Other than that, bro,
y'all don't want to.
Other than that, that's where the love stops. That's where the love stops.
Y'all don't.
You don't want to see
what? Ain't nobody worry about the Nuggets. Come on,
y'all don't want to play the Nuggets. Y'all don't. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Look, I believe they can make the playoffs too. I was with you. When in the West, there'll be a first round exit.
Well, I mean, look, honestly, like I said before, I see us really getting into that second round for sure. But it's got to line up correctly. It's just like every year, we need certain teams to beat certain teams. It's just how basketball works. We don't have to play
in order the first round, no matter who you.
But play. Check it out. In order to play. In order to make it out, you don't have to play every team. So there's a chance we might not have to see the Warriors. We might not have to see the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like if we play, let's say we get the 5 seed and the Mavs get the 4 seed. Okay, bam, we're in the second round. Easy.
Oh my God, there's only one team.
Then let's say
y'all can beat in the first round. It's like a 4-5. That is the Utah Jazz. That is the only one. You guys are not beating.
All we need is that. Hey, some teams got to beat other teams for us.
You're not beating the Blazers either. You're not beating the Nuggets. You're not beating the
Clem, tell them. Lay off
that yada, huh? Now I'm just saying like this. I think we got the talent. We got the ability.
Yo, so the playoffs obviously don't start today, but as currently constructed, you guys are the 3 seed. Kudos, congratulations. You guys haven't sniffed a 3 seed since, well, NBA players were sniffing other things. But check this out. If the playoffs,
everything that happened in the past doesn't matter today. None of that matters today.
You guys would play a play-in team, right? So I'm gonna give you the 4 play-in teams in one team that will most.
If we're the 3 team, we play the 6.
They play the 6, and they lose to Portland, and they would lose to Portland.
Come on, baby. Portland don't want it with us.
Well, that's a good series.
Portland don't want it with us.
They don't go 6. They'll lose.
We beat Portland in 6 for sure. We beat Portland in 6.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
That's a good series.
Only one. Like I said, only one.
I don't know what you're laughing at. I don't see how it's funny, but we beat
the only one I can give y'all is Utah. Like if you and Utah met, I think that would be a 7-game series, and it would be great. Lauri Markkanen,
Utah,
De'Aaron Fox,
we beat Utah in 5, bro. Come on, bro. Stop with this Utah shit.
You guys are not that much better than Utah. I'm not gonna hold you. You guys are not.
CG, baby, you just going off of records. I'm starting to wonder if you've been watching basketball.
No, I'm looking at team construct. Y'all are not that much better than Utah.
I think your school load might be too heavy. You're not watching basketball. How many units?
No. I'm telling y'all. You look at top to bottom roster construct, the way everything, all that. Them and Utah are in the same tier. And you guys are overperforming right now for keeping it above.
How are we overperforming?
Ain't nobody expected y'all to be 10-6, 3rd seed in the West.
No. That's what I said earlier.
And everybody's like a game apart. Everybody's like a game apart.
You're saying we're overperforming to the masses. What happens in-house doesn't matter what the masses think. Y'all think that we're overperforming. We know what our abilities are. So it's not really overperforming. It's just like who the Jazz
overperforming?
I think the Jazz actually constructed have a decent team. I expected them to be tanking already. I didn't know they were going to wait until January to start tanking.
Little did you know they're better than y'all. Hey, but hold on. Because I do want to know. I want to ask everybody, how far can the Kings peak?
I think second round is a shoo-in. I think the second round is a shoo-in. But we have the ability if the seeding is constructed properly, we have the ability to make a run for the West. But
if the seeding is constructed properly, y'all can beat the Jazz.
Ron, I don't want to hear about everything that happened since 2004. But it's a whole different team, a whole different front office. It's not the same situation.
No, I get that. Even though that is kind of what I'm alluding to, but I'm not getting at that. I was talking about regular season.
Regular season.
Y'all still gotta make the playoffs. All right.
So does everybody else. So does everybody else. Everybody else has to make the playoffs too. So we got just as much a chance as anybody else does.
It's people that can drink right now that still haven't seen them in the playoffs.
That don't got nothing to do with today, Ron. It's easy to say that for laughs, and people are gonna laugh and be like, "Oh, he's right. They haven't won," but it's not. It doesn't matter. Like,
What
did
season,
it?
I think they can be
It's
as
a very
high as
good
a
laugh.
5 seed and as low as missing the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the easy thing. Like when you don't have any facts to base why we can't do it, it's easy to make the people laugh and get on your
No,
side.
I'm saying you guys
But
are gonna make the playoffs.
That's not how it works in reality.
Relax, bro. Like you get like I understand this is your baby, this is your heart. You live and die kings, you bleed purple. Okay, I get that.
No doubt,
I'm not
no
saying
doubt.
you guys aren't gonna make.
He's got a beam in his living room, Ron.
I'm asking
Big
how
beam.
He likes that
what
shit.
Hey, I like
high can you
7
guys
grand
be?
beams.
Hey, I'm like, what do you guys think that you guys can max out in during the regular season? Can you guys be a 2 seed, 1 seed? Are you a playing team? What do we all see the Kings finishing?
I think with the Clippers, I don't know if they're really gonna play for a 1 seed or not. If they're gonna kind of go like the old school Spurs and just make sure they get in the playoffs. So really, I could see Phoenix and Denver. Phoenix, Denver. So I'm really thinking anywhere 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 3 to 6, anywhere 3 to 6.
So it went from initially 6 to 9
Yeah, right.
to now it's 3 to 6.
3 to
Hey, and
6.
look though.
Because look, if I would have said this when I felt it before the season started, when I was talking about it, I would have got blacklisted off the show again, like y'all kicked me off when I said what I said about Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, we did not.
Y'all would have kicked me off the show again, and I just couldn't have that. So I tried to stay humble. Now they're showing it, so I'm gonna keep inching further and further. Bro, 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna be like, we're the favorite to win the championship.
You
I
just
can't say
said you just.
Oh
I
my
just-
God!
I
At the
just-
beginning
I
of the
just
show,
can't-
you said you
just can't
gotta
say
stay
that.
humble.
I gotta stay humble.
We can't.
I gotta stay humble.
Look,
Look,
y'all
we're
4
the 3
games over
seed.
500 for the first
We're the
time
3
forever.
seed right now. We're the 3 seed right now. So by me saying that we can finish a 3 seed, I'm staying humble. That's humble.
There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that are behind y'all by a game. We got 65 more to play.
I'll give them playing. I wasn't even willing to give them playing at the beginning of the year when.
See, JD, that's the problem with y'all. That's the problem with y'all.
I'll give them
Y'all
playing.
think that y'all got the ability to give us something. We taking everything that we came for. Y'all can't give us nothing. Big ox shit. We coming for everything that we deserve. Okay. I'm tired of y'all acting like we're asking y'all for something. Like, please. Like
But
that shit Kevin Durant said. We don't need Kevin Durant's approval. He came to Sacramento and got his skinny ass smoked. Don't come back to Sac, KD. We busting your ass. We busting your ass every time you come through Sacramento. That go for everybody that come through Sacramento. You can, it's not like it was in 2014. You can't come here with that shit no more. We're not doing none of that. We not asking nobody's approval. We taking everything we came for.
Love it.
Beam team. Y'all heard it. Beam team.
Beam team.
Like the beam.
Hey, but hold on, no, JD. But before you go forward, speaking of the Kings, it's actually crazy because 2 players got Player of the Week this week. De'Aaron Fox.
Swiper, no swiping.
Other than somebody who actually played for the Kings last year, and now he's out east. Tyrese Halliburton. They both got Player of the Week. Now, Bobby, I just want to ask you one more
Bob.
question.
Yes,
one
Bob.
more question. I know what you're going to say, but I still want to ask it.
Put him up.
Do you think you will have any regrets trading Tyrese Halliburton for some
No. Tyrese Halliburton did us the biggest service anybody's done for us in over a decade. Thank you, Tyrese, and we love you for that. We love you. Tyrese, we love you for being so dope that we could trade you for Domantas Sabonis. Thank you, brother.
Hey, but that's also part of the reason why you guys are where you are. It wasn't necessarily like you guys got a big change in management. It wasn't necessarily like you guys started getting free agents. It wasn't necessarily like everybody in Sacramento woke up like, oh, we're tired of losing and we're going to change our habits. No, what happened was you guys really started hitting on these draft picks, and it started with De'Aaron Fox. Y'all got De'Aaron. Y'all hit on that. Then y'all came back. Y'all got Halliburton. Y'all hit on that. But then the next year, y'all got Davion Mitchell. Davion allows you guys to be able to trade Halliburton because you know that you guys had another secondary point guard or somebody that can play alongside De'Aaron. But furthermore, though, even with this year too, drafting Keegan Murray was major because he's starting for you guys now. But I'm gonna keep it a buck. Coming out of Iowa, I'm looking at Keegan like, yo, you not finna be shit in the league.
Yeah.
You
Remember, I wanted Jaden eventually initially.
Yeah, I remember you were saying that. And when you guys didn't draft Jaden, you was walking around moping, depressed, kicking cans. You wasn't picking up my calls, wasn't you know?
So
Your
I
girl
was
calling
pissed.
me like, man, what's wrong? What's wrong with him? Is he okay?
Cool.
Hey, we almost had to check you into an institution, but that's not appropriate for the show right now. But Keegan has turned out to be better than advertised and better than expected.
Mm-hmm.
He really sniping the three, and he's just playing good. So I'm
and
like,
no, go ahead.
I'm just saying, even with that, y'all have been striking with your draft picks, and so that's kind of why everything is kind of coming to fruition for you guys.
Yeah, I mean
bing bong.
I mean, Sturdy did just kind of say it. They have only beaten one team over 500.
Okay,
and
look,
if that trend continues, we're probably going to be looking at them in a lesser extent how we looked at the Bulls last year. The Bulls couldn't beat like the top 4 teams in either conference or whatever. And like it's different because Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, they'll get you regular season wins.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Is it my fault? Is it my fault? Is it the Kings' fault that the Heat, the Lakers, and the Warriors decided to be ass this year?
I mean, no, it's not your fault.
Wait. Are the Warriors and the Heat making the playoffs this year? Let me ask you that.
The Heat, I believe in Spoelstra Warriors. They're going to make the playoffs. They'll be fine.
Okay, so he keep talking. He said that stat 7 times already. But it's like, okay, all these teams that were beaten, not all of them, but a lot of the teams that were beaten, everybody's still projecting them to finish top 6, top 5 in their respective conferences.
And I'm with you that you got to play. Matter? No, but I'm just saying
on top of that, we beat those teams, the Warriors and the Heat. We beat those teams once, but we really beat both of those teams twice. If it wasn't for us being disrespected because we're the Sacramento Kings, everybody like the NBA went back, watched all of those last 2 minutes, and it's clear as day that we won that Miami game, and we're on the verge of winning that other Warriors game. So yeah, he keeps coming with those bullshit stats, but all these teams that were beaten, people are projecting them to be top 5 teams in their respective conferences.
I mean, I'm just
make context matter again.
I mean, I'm just saying. I was just bringing that up to highlight the fact that, like, look, if this trend continues, because it's early in the season, you're right. It's only been 17 games played. Some people got 16. I'm just saying, if this continues during the regular season, like game 50, game 55, and we see that teams above 500, they either struggling with or they can't seem to beat them, then we're going to look at the Kings in a little. It's the same thing that happened with Chicago last year. Chicago was a top 3 team in the East at one point, but they couldn't beat some of the better teams in the league. They had like they might have had like 1 win or 2 wins by the time the season ended. Granted, they had injuries, so it's different, but nevertheless, once we saw that, everybody's stock on Chicago started kind of going down. I'm just saying with Sacramento, it's a little different because even though Domantas Sabonis, love him, De'Aaron Fox is a great player. If that trend continues, middle of the season to All-Star past All-Star break, the stock is going to go down. It's not going to be believable. You can't beat some of the better teams.
I'm going to tell you like this. If the stock goes down on us before the All-Star break, y'all buy the dip.
All right, let's get off the Kings.
Buy the dip.
Let's get off the Kings. That one Essential Barber sent to Super Chat. Is there a situation where AD gets moved to Chicago? If so, who would it be?
Oh, yeah, I like that.
I don't know.
I mean, it
who
would
could
probably
they
be
trade
Zach,
for,
but
DeMar?
they would probably trade Zach and Vucevic, but I don't think either team does that because, I don't think Chicago does that because DeMar and AD don't put them over the top.
Absolutely.
So I don't see why they would do that. And then, I mean, the Lakers, what do the Lakers look like with LeBron, Russ, Zach, and Vucevic?
I mean, Vuce will start shooting a lot more threes, driving kicks and stuff.
And
but
does that bode well for them?
I mean, it means nothing. I mean, would Vuce be their best shooter if he went to the team?
Yeah. No, because Zach could still come too. So it'll be Zach.
Okay. If Zach comes, then yeah, but I don't think it does anything.
So AD for Zach and Vooch, who wins that trade?
Neither. It's a tie because they're both in the same spot and they don't go anywhere.
Dookie.
I think the Lakers get Zach and Vooch. Oh, they lose AD. Damn, I don't know. I can't call it either.
I don't know if you guys have seen this SGA clip, but he's giving off Player's Choice vibes. I want to watch it. and then we'll talk about it.
Kobe is Michael Jordan, just on a steroid. You're talking about skills. What are you talking about? I'm talking about best player. Kobe has 5 rings. What's your argument? All around. And I'm saying all around, Kobe Bryant. Bro, it's LeBron. Okay. No. If we're talking about skill, KD's 4. Nah, I know that skill alone, KD's 1. KD is 7 feet. I can do everything Steph Curry can do. Come on, man. It's like you can't. Come on, competitive nature, championship. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Remember I told you that. 34.
I think the thing, Jordan is third because of his documentary. If LeBron dropped the documentary today, you say LeBron's the goal.
You say that. Bron's still second. Kobe 1, Bron 2, Mike 3. They're all amazing. They're all the best ever. But it's just a love.
Yo. Kobe
These young
won.
punks don't be knowing what they talking about.
Kobe 1. Bron 2, MJ 3. Also said that KD can do everything that Steph can. That was fire.
That's the one
That was the realest thing he said the whole time.
I agree with that part too.
That's the realest thing he said on that whole video.
I don't know. I don't want to get too much because I also want to focus on the Kobe, LeBron, MJ being 3. But anyways, as far as I don't like when people use competitive nature for an argument.
That was heat.
I hate that.
Why? But why not though? Why? Why is that?
Because if that's the case, AI should be higher on everybody's list. We talk about competitive nature, and everybody don't like. A lot of people don't even have a top 5 shooting guards, but we talk about competitive nature. I don't want to hear that when we talk about who's better and who. I don't want to hear that. If you got more fire and spirit, and I'm more calm, cool, collected, but I'm 1,000% better than you, your competitive nature should not put you in a conversation.
Being calm, cool, and collected doesn't mean you're not a competitor. That's my thing.
But,
I think a lot of people take that outward stuff.
When they talk about competitive nature, what do they talk about? Oh, Kobe will eat your heart out. MJ will hey, he take everything personal. Like, I don't want.
Yeah, but even so, like a lot of these guys aren't big rah guys. They're just dogs. You can see it on them. Like a lot of cats, you could tell. Like Mikal Bridges last year. This year he's a little bit more flashy with it. But last year you could see Mikal Bridges wasn't backing down anybody. He was just here to play, and that's what I mean by being a competitor. He's not shying away from guarding LeBron. He's not scared of anybody. He's going to eat. I don't think being competitive means that you're just rah like I score, like flexing on your opponents or whatnot.
You could be right with that, but I don't think using competitive nature. How do you judge? Like what you just said. Like some people aren't. How do you judge competitive nature?
Me myself.
Like how was that a way to judge who's better than the other? Like that's not something I don't think you can judge. I can watch you play basketball, and I can determine with my eyes, sometimes stats, who does what better. But competitive nature, at the end of the day, it's basically who's got more heart. And how do you judge that? You can't.
I don't think you can actually scale it personally. I think that's more of a competitive nature is more like a situation like this where we're talking and we can really like talk about it like I don't know, maybe I'll just any names. I can't think of anybody in particular, but like De'Aaron versus Ja type situation. It's like, oh well, Ja when he dunks, or does this, he's all up excited. But when you watch De'Aaron play in the fourth quarter, you see like, nah, he's here to carry his team. It's not like, you can't say he's I don't know. You can't really rank it like on 1 to 10, but you can kind of see it though, and it's something that you could talk about. Like it has to be in a conversation like how we're having right now, where we can say, oh well, he's more competitive than him based on this playoff game. We can't really like put it. I don't think we can really put a number on it.
And that's why I don't like it when we use it to determine who's better than the other.
Right. Like for instance, remember like when LeBron when he was in Miami, when he drove to the rim and he kicked that short corner shot to Udonis Haslem. I thought that was a good pass personally because Udonis at that point was knocking that shot down more than anybody. But a lot of people said, "Oh, Brown was scared to take the shot. He was scared. He was nervous." And then I was talking. I don't know who I was talking to, but they kind of broke it down. Well, when you're the best player, you have to be like more like Michael Jordan, to where in that situation he's not thinking about passing it to anybody. He's like, I'm gonna go get this bucket. So that's where they broke down. That's the difference in competitive
Michael
nature.
passed it too, but that's neither here nor there. I get your point.
It's not neither here nor there. If you've seen times where Mike is gonna make that pass, then okay, then that's a rebuttal to him in that argument against LeBron, like the competitive nature. Like, well, no, they're making good basketball plays, I think, but I don't know. I think competitive nature can be brought into it.
I want SGA on the show. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know, bro. It's just hard for me to put dudes over Jordan. And so I think it's only one guy that has a case to be over Jordan. We're talking about a dude who led the league in scoring for 7 straight years. 7 straight years. Gee, baby, you might not like it, but who else, did any of these guys do that? We're talking about a dude who during that 7 years got defensive player of the year a couple times too, was leading the league in steals as well. When was the last time we seen somebody do that? Lead the league in scoring and then turn around and lead the league in steals. So now we're talking about competitive nature. You're getting it on both sides of the floor now. I'm saying, like, bro, it's just Jordan did things that will never quite be done again. And it's just like, I don't know. I can't see myself putting anybody ahead of Jordan except for one guy.
LeBron.
And I hate
James.
the one guy.
No,
and I hate
it's
the
not
one
even-
guy
and it's
that
not
you
even
want to
LeBron.
put.
The one
And
guy.
I hate the one guy that you.
I hate the LeBron though. I hate the LeBron though. Yeah, I know you guys, but this is the thing about SGA with doing that. You guys would go to the guy that you've seen from start to finish. So a lot of us seeing LeBron from 2003 to 2022. So we got to see LeBron grow. We got to see him win big series. We got to see him during his bad moments. And then we got to see him when he was victorious. We got to see him dunk on people. Just all the things we got to be there and have that recency bias and watch it. But I'm like, when you go back and just look at some of the feats and the things that Jordan did, he did things that LeBron.
Oh, I agree, Jordan. I agree, Jordan's the GOAT. I've had him as the GOAT. I don't think that's changing personally. I have it for different reasons. I just don't like the guy you would put above Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and we don't need to talk about that because we've gone in depth with that. I want to move on to what Shannon Sharp actually posted on Twitter last night. He tweeted out, Tobias Harris is the only NBA Max player that's received very little criticism. He hasn't come close to fulfilling that contract.
Damn, Shannon.
Is he?
He's one of them.
For sure, one of them.
I mean,
I can agree with
Tobias
Shannon. I can agree with Shannon that he does not get held to the same standard as other guys who are on big contracts. I don't know what it is, why he gets this pass.
It's because he was playing with Joel and Ben Simmons for that time, and everybody was just looking straight at Ben Simmons passing the ball in that play. And then I'm one of the guys. I'll go ahead and say I'm one of those guys that I was kind of more focused on Joel's shortcomings than I was. But Tobias definitely has not held up his end of the bargain.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, you baby.
I just think because I think before he got to Philly, his best season was with Doc Rivers. Then he got to Philly, it was kind of like, Doc Rivers came back, and it was like Tobias went back to being the Tobias we saw with Doc Rivers. I don't know exactly when his contract came, but I can agree that for the money you was getting paid, you really haven't been what you were, supposed to, but at the same time, you playing behind Joel Embiid or next to Joel Embiid. You're not going to be like this, like not every, like you're not going to be, this ain't going to be no AD and DeMarcus type. Like that's not who you are. So you're not going to be, that big, but I will admit that the money that he did get, he shouldn't have got that much. I didn't think he was worth it at the time, but a lot of Philly fans were like, "Oh, but he will be though," And it's like I'm not a big component of giving guys like money based off potential. At least like I feel like it was just early. Like now, if he would have came back and was like, oh, okay, we see it, then all right, cool. But I mean, not to take it too much here, but like even with the Nuggets, I think we gave MPJ and Jamal Murray their contracts a year too early. For sure.
MPJ for sure.
Yeah, MPJ was like, whoa, that's a lot of money too early when he's coming off a back. Jamal Murray, I just thought it was a year too soon when that happened. So like going back to Tobias, I just think maybe it wasn't the right time. Not to say he could have never gotten the money, but I think once he got it, it was like, well, we know who you are. We know what you're going to be. Did they not pick Tobias over Jimmy Butler?
They did.
And I think Jimmy had shown me a lot more than Tobias at that point. Like you could have replaced.
Who's the biggest
question? Jimmy during that whole year, that was Jimmy's team that year.
Absolutely,
it wasn't Ben Simmons' team. It wasn't Joel's team.
It was Jimmy Butler's.
Show wasn't Tobias.
That was Kawhi's. That was Kawhi's team.
Oh god.
Had Joel out there crying, sticking his lip out. That shit was hilarious. Hey, what's the biggest heist y'all have seen out of these NBA players?
Gordon Hayward.
Who's committed?
That's a great one. That's a great one. I'm not going.
He lost his foot. He lost his foot.
I mean, fair, but
because if he doesn't get hurt, I think he lives up to his bargain, and I think Boston might have really been a problem that year.
Nah, not with that shit Kyrie did.
Kyrie
Kyrie wasn't there.
No, Kyrie was there. They had Kyrie. It was Kyrie, Tatum, Gordon Hayward. They still had Jalen there as well. And
Marcus Smart, I think, was Al Horford there the first year? He might not have been there the first year with Gordon Hayward.
No, Al was there.
Was he there the first year?
I was there. I was there.
Okay.
Yeah, bro, that team was crazy.
I mean, Gordon Hayward got his foot amputated, so.
SSJ Gaby. Tobias over me? Jimmy Butler.
Oh, Duncan Robinson. Somebody just said it. Duncan Robinson for sure stealing money from Miami.
Would probably agree with you.
For sure stealing money from Miami right now.
Yeah,
Duncan. The thing about it this year with Tobias really this could be the year where he really earns his money. Now, do I believe that the Philadelphia Sixers are going to make, a run like that? Not really. But this can really be the year where he can cash in and be worth every single penny if he can show up in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, I agree with you.
And help them to at least for the Sixers, it's kind of like, I'm not going to say win a ring or nothing, but it's kind of get to the championship or nothing.
No, just keep trusting the process. That's got to keep trusting the process, bro.
Even if they go to the conference finals, it's kind of still not enough for them. Just because it's like you guys double down on James. Maxey is playing at an all-star level. Joel is playing at an MVP level. Should have won MVP last year, if you ask me. This year, he's in the MVP conversation. They've been in the Eastern Conference Finals a couple years, and then they went back that year where they lost to Kawhi. Or was that the semis?
No, they've never made the Eastern Conference Finals.
They haven't.
Nah, because the best year they should have went. They lost to Trae Young and them.
Oh, that's right.
They lost to Kawhi in the semis. And then who they lose? I can't remember.
Oh,
yeah, I can't remember who else they lost to. But yeah,
get them.
They've never made a conference finals.
For them,
I'm gonna tell you,
it's get to a championship or nothing. Like Eastern Conference Finals isn't even enough for them.
Yeah,
and y'all remember
even with James Harden too. It's like James Harden. It's only one thing that can kind of redeem your reputation as being, a bad playoff performer, and that's getting to the NBA championship. Now, I'm not even saying you got to win it, but you at least got to be able to make a playoff run and get to that championship.
Well, if he play bad and he get there, then I think if he plays bad and he get there, it's not going to change nothing.
Bob, what do you say?
I don't think they get there. If they get there, I don't think they get there with him playing bad.
Bob, you gonna say Michael Carter Williams?
No, Mikal Bridges. They're supposed to have Mikal Bridges right now. Dummies. They drafted him. Remember they traded him for Zaire Smith on draft night.
Yeah.
Tough.
Man, that was the worst move they made. Even worse than trading for James Harden.
Tough. I want to play an over-under game. We're going on total wins for teams. I'm going to give you a number, and you're going to tell me if they're going to finish with more or less wins than that at the end of the regular season. Starting with, we're going to go Ron, Bobby, G, baby. Starting with the Lakers, Ron. 45.5. Or 44.5, sorry.
Over.
Bob.
Under.
G baby.
Under.
Boston Celtics, Ron, 54.5.
Shit.
I'm gonna say over.
Damn. Somewhere real close to that. I would rather go over than under.
I'm gonna say under by like 2 games. Just by like 2 games.
Utah Jazz, 49.5.
Oh.
Utah, baby. They're still gonna be under that though. No, you said 49?
Yeah, 49.5.
Can they get 50 wins?
The Jazz aren't gonna be a 50-win team. They will be right under that at 47-48.
Under for sure. Under.
Yeah, calling them a 50
like
team is
fuck
tough.
like under.
So Ron, if I said 45.5, you're going over.
Yeah.
JD say 42.5.
How about 32.5? Miami Heat, Ron, 47.5.
This one's tough. This one's tough. 'Cause I still believe in the Heat. I think this might be one of those years where the Heat actually kind of underperform in the regular season, but play much better in the playoffs. I think they probably will continue to have a slow start until closer to the All-Star break. So I'll probably say under.
You said 43?
You said 47, right?
47.5.
47. Oh shit. I think the Heat are gonna I think they're gonna finish strong. So I would say pretty much at that or a little over, maybe 2 or 3 games over that.
I'm going under.
OKC, Ron, 24.5.
That's disgusting.
Okay, so 24.5. Hold on, what's the record right now? Because OKC actually played pretty good, huh?
7-10.
So to say that they're gonna win
Out of the
Some
next
team more
60 games, they need at least 15.
I'm gonna go over, and the reason being is because SGA is just a animal.
Sorry, I said 24. They needed what was it?
17.
Yeah, 17. So they need 18 to get that 25.
I'm gonna go under.
Damn.
Nah, that's crazy. I'm going over.
I'm going under based on I believe the tank is on. The tank is about to be put in full effect. SGA is going to be benched for some strange shoulder injury. You know?
Hey, and now I'm starting to see people in the chat talking about Shea over Ja. I've been telling y'all this. I've been saying this, that Ja, I don't want to say that Ja's overrated because Ja's a great player. But I've been saying if you take a guy like Shea and put him on the Grizzlies, they are bare minimum the same exact team. But I believe that they become better with Shea over there. But I've been
I don't
saying
see him getting much better.
Look, guys like Darius Garland and Shea, you can take a plethora of guys and place them in that situation, and those teams are the exact same. You could put Shea in either situation, and I think both teams get better. You can put who else? You could put De'Aaron Fox in either of those teams, and both teams stay the same or get better. Though I'm saying with guys like that, it's not that you're overrated, it's just your team is good. But I believe that Shea is better than Ja.
Detroit Pistons, Ron, 29.5.
You could have said 19.
I was about to say.
I have no faith in the Pistons at all. Hey, before the season, Lowe came up here capping for the Pistons. You know, I'm hosting the panel, so I can't really do too much. I almost booted that boy off that screen.
You know what,
Like,
Ron?
come on.
You're right. That is way too high. We're going 19.5.
I'm still going under.
Yeah, I was like,
They've won 3 games. Oh, they won 4. They just beat who they just beat?
the Nuggets
somebody
by 2.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So they got 4 wins this year so far. They're gonna be nasty when Victor comes to town.
I was about to say that's exactly under.
They're gonna
They
be
are
nasty
tanking
when
for
Victor
Victor.
comes to town.
Under.
Him and
Pistons?
the Pistons.
Yeah, the
him and Jalen
Pistons.
Duren together.
Yo,
Jaden Ivey.
Ace 30 just said that Cade's out for the season. Is that's true?
Yesterday I saw that, or
The
yesterday or 2
tank
days
is
ago,
in full effect.
I saw that he was out indefinitely, so they could have confirmed. I haven't seen anything today, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was out for the season.
If I'm the Pistons, I don't
You
win.
wouldn't be
I don't
surprised
win
because you
more
wouldn't be
than 10
surprised that they're
games.
benching him.
No,
Yeah,
he's
that's
hurt.
what-
He's hurt, and he might need surgery.
Okay.
Yeah, so wouldn't be
Jaden-
surprised
yeah,
if
Jaden is
that's
next.
a young star. You don't want to rush him, So,
Yeah,
and
for
also
sure.
with the tank, it's like, hey, that's a great reason to sit him for the year.
They're gonna let Jaden get about 20 more games. He's done.
They're
they're
start
gonna-
making injuries.
Can they trade Bojan since they just traded for him? They gotta wait till after the trade deadline. How does that work?
I don't know.
I think there's a certain amount of days you can't trade somebody. I don't know the
Well,
exact
as
amount.
soon as those days are up, Bojan's out of there.
All right,
Out of there.
this last one I did specifically for Bobby. Ron,
Over.
Big Ox shit, 42.5.
Over.
Oh, 42?
That's
Over.
disrespectful. I don't got to say nothing.
What do you
Light
have
the
him at,
beam.
Bob? What do you have him at?
53.
All right. 53. Goose It sent the
Over.
super chat, said, I'm rocking with the new PCPFP. Thank you, Goose It. Goose It? Goose It sounds...
Goose it or lose it.
Goose It or lose it. Ron, do you have
Talk-
any last Lucra contests that you want to put up? I know that we have the Luka, Jason Tatum one. We obviously have the Wager of the Week. You brought up earlier, you kind of got cut off, but you said any star against Jokic tonight, you're open to those.
No. Any star against DeMar DeRozan tonight.
You
I
want to go
believe
any
DeMar
star
DeRozan-
against DeMar DeRozan?
I believe DeMar DeRozan is going to outscore a lot of people tonight. So
Oh, you're
I mean,
taking
it's-
DeMar over the...
I'm taking DeMar DeRozan. So I'm like, listen. Let me see who's all playing tonight. What
So
all
make
stars are
sure-
playing? I know
make
the Wood. What's up, JD?
I want to let everyone know how. So in the Lucra app, make sure you go to your social and add Player's Choice as a friend so that we can see you, we can interact, and then we can add you to. We have a group on here, and so you can see all the members in the Player's Choice group. You can see the leaderboards. So make sure not only if you sign up, you got to add us. We'll add you back, and then you can start sending us these challenges.
I got DeMar DeRozan scoring more than Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland. I got him scoring more than Cat tonight. I got him scoring more than Anthony Edwards. I got him scoring more than Trae Young. I got him scoring more than De'Aaron Fox. I got DeMar DeRozan scoring more points than Luka Doncic. I got him scoring more points than Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I got him scoring more points than Jimmy Butler, Bradley Beal. I got him scoring more than Kevin Durant. I have him scoring more than Pascal Siakam or Fred VanVleet. I got him scoring more points than Giannis Antetokounmpo, and that's who he plays tonight. I got him scoring more than SGA. I got him scoring more than Jokic. I got him scoring more than Zion, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum. I got him scoring more than Keldon Johnson. I got him scoring more than Bojan Bogdanovic. I got him scoring more than Lauri Markkanen. I have him scoring more than Paul George. And last but not least, I have DeMar DeRozan scoring more points than Stephen Curry. Take me up on it.
I'll take that one.
It's
I
going to
got
be
you.
so funny.
I'll take you that
He
one. I'll take you
doesn't
that
score
one,
more than all of them. It's going to be
Right.
hilarious.
Right. It's gonna be
I
great.
got you on the Steph one, Ron. I'm gonna shoot that to you soon.
Well, hey, shoot that money to me. I need it. It's almost Christmas season. I need it. Hey, it's the giving season. Y'all just give it to me. 'Tis the
Big-
season.
Big Ox Bob with the super chat. Ace 30. How long you been a hater? Oh my god. Big Ox Bob. That's your name.
I'm with
Bob. The what would you call? So now we got to think of your allegiance. Got to be the ox. What's like a pack of oxes?
that. Like a herd.
Nah,
A herd. A herd of us.
Sacramento Kings.
Ox herd. The ox herd. Big ox herd. Big ox herd is fire. The
I
big
see.
ox herd. We'll come up with something good eventually. But Ron, any final words?
DeMar DeRozan clears everybody tonight.
Bob, you got a quote for us today?
No quote today, fellas, but I do want to say make sure that you go ahead and get your 30 minutes of reading minimum in daily. If you're having trouble finding a book, I got this book fresh off Amazon a couple of days ago by David Goggins. You Can't Hurt Me. The guy is such an inspiration. I had to go grab that book. He's actually dropping another one. Go get those pre-orders in. Big ox shit. Like the beam.
G baby.
Nuggets and 6.
Why'd you say that so cute like that? Yeah.
Hey, just waiting for it to come to fruition.
Hey, study. Make sure you go ahead and meditate today, man. Get that hate out your heart. Get that malice out your heart, brother. We need that love, man. Get that malice out your heart. Hey, study. Do some meditating, yoga, smoke a joint, do whatever you got to do, brother. Get that hate out your heart. And Sacramento loves you, hey, study.
If you celebrate Thanksgiving, man, I hope that you all have a great Thanksgiving. I personally am thankful and grateful for all of you. If you don't, I hope you just have an amazing Thursday. Make sure you tune in to Black Friday. That is in 2 days. This Friday, the 25th. I believe we're starting at 12:15 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, we're starting at 12. The first matchup will be J-Rob versus Bama versus Rated R. Y'all be sure to tune into that. The next matchup will be Fluent versus Dub. The next matchup will be Chill versus Elder Rufus. The next matchup will be me taking out bald head and putting it in a headlock and giving him a newbie. After that, we will do it will be who's the next matchup after that? It's OG the Beast and Low. And last but not least, we got Ticket versus Mars.
Hey, we got some guest hosts too. We're not gonna spoil anything right now, but just make sure you keep an eye out on our social medias. We'll probably drop who's gonna be guest hosting. If we don't, just make sure you show up to the event because it's gonna be dope, man. We've been working hard on this behind the scenes. We're excited for this event. We want to put on a show for y'all. Again, none of this could be made possible without y'all. You guys have a amazing rest of your day. Happy Thanksgiving. We will catch you on Friday. Like, comment, subscribe to all the things. Come see us on Lucra. Peace out.
Y'all eat 2 plates for me tomorrow. I'm fat.